afternoon.
Good afternoon.
That's crazy. That's crazy what you
yes.
just told me. Well, good for her.
Yeah. Well, I'll fill the audience in when it's done.
I want to know.
I'll fill you in.
It's
during
super
a break.
private.
Yeah.
It's cone of silence.
Cone of
It cannot be
silence.
discussed. Yes. It is
It Friday.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's do a big Friday show. Couldn't be. We had nothing from Morales to lead off the show, and that's okay because I wanted to get right with it. So Pepe Mantilla turns out to be a very wise man. Do you know why?
No.
Because he said the Lakers are a mirror. That's exactly what they were last night. They reflected back exactly what Washington was giving them, and they played down to one of the worst teams in the league. They survived it, but they are a mirror. They play well against the good teams, and they play badly against the bad teams.
All right, here's the good news if you're a Laker fan. Even when they had Shaq and Kobe, they did this. I cannot tell you how many times in the 20-plus years I've been working with the Lakers that we play to the level of the competition, whether it be good or bad.
Yep.
Which is why what happened in the Clipper game on Wednesday night scares everybody. That
Right.
LeBron and AD are going to go nuclear, and they can beat
Sicko.
anybody.
Sicko
They've
mode.
beaten Oklahoma City twice. They beat the Clippers 3 times. They beat Boston without LeBron and AD
Yep.
in Boston. Then they lose at home to Brooklyn. Badly.
Yep.
They almost lose at home last night to a team that was on a 12-game losing streak.
Yes.
What's this?
Do you know what it is, Mace?
Yeah.
What?
Brian, tell him.
No.
Tell him exactly
You
what
made
it is.
you made a reference.
Mirrors. It's mirrors.
No, it's sicko mode.
Oh, so this is sicko mode. Okay, got it. I thought you were going to play Mirrors.
Is there a song called Mirrors?
Oh, yeah. It's a
Oh.
big JT song. I think it's the best JT song there is. So I
see if I can find it.
I didn't expect sicko.
But
You just
Mode.
like the you just like the
so
saying.
for
I just like the expression, yes.
So for me, an announcer, or for most fans who invest 2 hours in a game, you're rarely ever going to see a blowout.
No.
Because the Lakers always play to the level of the competition no matter what it is.
Yes.
I was hearing Travis and Slee talking about how you can't almost lose to who did we play last night?
Washington.
Thank you. I've been to so many games lately. You can't almost lose to Washington. They're the worst team in the league. Yes, you can.
Yes.
They've won 9 games this year.
Right.
Earlier this year, the Spurs snapped a 13-game losing streak against the Lakers.
Right.
They do this all the time. But what you're hoping for, if you're a Laker fan, is you get into they've won 9 out of their last 12 games.
Yes.
What you're hoping for is you get this team into the playoffs when LeBron and AD are going to play 40 to 42 minutes and nobody can handle them. That's what happened last year. Memphis was the 2 seed. Lakers were the 7.
Good matchup.
Lakers win the first game. Austin Reeves goes crazy, and Memphis is like, uh-oh.
Yep.
We woke up the sleeping giant. Then Golden State has home court against the Lakers. Lakers go in, they win the first game. They have no answers for AD. And then they ran into that buzzsaw that was Denver. But if the Lakers can get in, and right now they're 9th, if they can get in, I think they can make some noise. But I don't like their chances if they're 9th or 10th. I think they got to move up.
They are, test this word. The word that popped into my head was quixotic. Now,
That's a real word. I know that.
it is a real word.
Oh, he always has real
Somehow
words.
I think it applies to the Lakers. As you were,
Extremely idealistic, unrealistic, and impractical.
Yeah, it kind of fits.
kind of fits. Kind of fits. That's not a good one for me. Quixotic didn't turn out to be a good word. But I was close. I was in the
Try
ballpark.
again. Give me another word.
They've got to happen organically, Greg. I can't make up words on cue.
You should be able to. You're professional.
But in the end, a win is a win is a win. Whether it's you go to the fourth quarter down 21 and you storm back on the shoulders of LeBron, or you survive Washington in overtime, they've won 9 of 12.
Right. And now here comes Denver, and they may have caught another break.
Yes,
In the-
because who's not playing?
In the first half last night, Denver was playing in Denver against Miami.
Yep.
Jamal Murray sprained his ankle and never came back.
Okay.
And now they have to play the Lakers 5:30 tomorrow. So there's a chance Jamal Murray would be out. He kills the Lakers. He averaged 32 a game in the Western Conference Finals last year. and the backup Reggie Jackson would have to play.
Right.
So the Lakers may catch a break there. That's what you need. You need to get lucky.
Now, tomorrow, also in this it's a nationally televised game, right?
Correct, yeah.
LeBron James will surpass 40,000 points for his career, which I think is going to be really exciting and amazing.
Right.
And who would have thought?
First guy ever.
Yeah, first guy ever. Happens
way,
on national TV against the defending champs.
Do you guys think in our lifetime, so we're on the planet,
Yep.
somebody else gets to 40,000 points?
I mean, it's so hard.
I
You
do
have to
not.
play for so long.
All right, the one you have to, and you can't get hurt. Like Durant would have been tracking to be the one to pass LeBron, but he missed 2 full years.
Yep.
The one guy, well, there's 2 guys that I think when you look at their age, you're like, okay. One is Luka, because he averages 30 a game. He's 24. He doesn't get hurt a lot. And the other is Wemby. He just turned 20. So if he plays till he's 39, like
Healthy.
LeBron, and stays healthy, I know you, Craig, for some reason you don't think he's going to stay healthy.
Well, not for his entire career.
Well, you'd be surprised. Skinny guys often do. It's the big guys that get hurt.
It's true. Like Zion, Shaq got
Right.
injured a good amount.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yao.
Yeah.
But
Too much weight on their feet.
Who is
Right.
who's the leading scorer aside from LeBron right now? Active scorer.
if I had to guess, I'd say Durant, but I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, Bergman, will you look that up?
Well, wait a
I
minute.
can't seem
Okay,
to find it.
I just would Harden have more points than Durant?
Possibly points.
It's so we're. I think if I had to guess, Chris Paul might be on the list. I know most of the top 10
You want the actives?
is
Yeah,
retired.
the actives.
So Kevin Durant is 9th.
Okay.
Is he the closest active one to
Yes.
LeBron?
It goes LeBron, Kareem, Karl Malone, Kobe, Jordan, Nowitzki, Chamberlain, Shaq, Durant.
Now, what's
I
how
would
many does
imagine-
Durant have?
I don't know if anybody else, Greg, in the top 20 is active.
I will see. Durant has 28,342 points. He's not going to get the 40.
Never.
Active in the top 20.
I would say all these guys.
They are all retired.
All right, now
James Harden is 22.
Yeah, and then maybe Chris
Westbrook is 25.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about it.
Steph is probably coming, but
31.
he's old.
He's
Steph's
31.
Nobody at the age of 39 is I can't imagine anybody ever doing what LeBron is doing, playing at the level he's playing at the age of 39. That longevity is it's funny. Bill Platchkey, who we joke about all the time. Bill I ran into a while ago. He said, "You guys are still on the air?" "Yep." "You still writing?" "Yep." And he said,
Can't get rid of either one of us.
longevity is very underrated. Longevity is difficult in the NBA. There are injuries. There are, guys wear down. I mean, for LeBron to be where he is physically right now and performing at the level he is, I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Well, to back up your point, 2 things. The most points anyone's ever averaged in year 21 before this year was Vince Carter, 8 points a game. LeBron averages 26. Okay? Secondly, LeBron in year 21 has scored more points than if you took everyone else in year 21 in the history of the NBA and combined them.
Yes.
So take Dirk.
Okay.
Take Vince Carter.
Right.
Take all those guys
and add them all up.
Add all their points up. LeBron scored more than so.
Yeah.
What we're seeing, and you mentioned what we'll see tomorrow will be more history. What we're seeing is just never been done before. My guess is we all leave the earth when LeBron is the all-time scorer.
Me too. I don't think there's any question.
I got one more thing about the all-time leading scorers.
Okay.
So after Steph Curry being active, you'll never get who the next person is. He's 35th above Chris Paul. He's been on, let's see, he's been on
He's
one.
he's active.
He's active, playing still. He's been on
All right,
1, 2, 3 teams that I can think of. I might be missing one, but I think it's just 3.
Okay. Wait, 3, because I was going to guess
Active
I was going to guess
player.
Dame, but
No,
Dame's
not
only
Dame.
been 2. Is Dame in the top 50?
Top 50, he is...
You said the guy we're trying to think of is 35.
He's number 35 on the list. Don't look it up. Dame is not... Yeah, Dame is 45.
45. Okay, so this is
This is a guy who's
All right,
been
so
on 3 teams.
Dame is 1 strike.
and what's his approximate age?
Approximate age, he's probably around 34.
34, 35.
33,
Okay.
34. I don't know exactly.
All right.
Who is that?
Been on 3 teams.
And you mentioned it's not Chris Paul.
He's been on 2 Eastern Conference team, 1 Western Conference team. It's not Chris Paul.
Not Chris
It
Paul.
can't be Kawhi. He's missed too many games.
I'll give you a hint. He went to a college in California.
So
A local college.
could be
DeMar
Could
DeRozan?
be.
DeMar DeRozan is the answer.
There you go.
Yeah,
35.
Yeah, every year he just scores a bunch
Yeah,
of
he
points.
does.
Yeah, I was going to say when he said that, the 2 names that popped into my head were DeRozan and Kevin Love, but Kevin Love's missed a lot of time
Yeah,
too.
he has.
Yeah, but
Yes.
did you ever have thought of DeMar DeRozan?
No,
as
especially when he's
I love DeMar DeRozan.
He's a great player,
All
king of the
time?
mid-range, but he's not getting threes necessarily as much
He's
as he's
actually
getting
shooting
mid-range
better
jump
this
shots.
year. Yeah,
His last couple of years, he's been much more active behind the three-point line.
Yeah. So, so tomorrow what we'll see is history. Now, my question for you is, John, play-by-play guy, do you have in your head what you're going to say?
no, and that is not like when he passed Kareem, like because
It's still significant. It's not like passing Kareem, but it's still significant.
yeah, I mean we'll make a big deal out
It's
of it.
the first
but
time, it's the last time it's ever going to happen.
passing Kareem was. I mean, that's the call they'll play.
Of course.
20 years from now, they won't play this even a year from
But
now.
you're not going to load up on a call?
No.
You're not going to jot down some notes?
I always think that when you do that, it comes out very contrived. It comes out very Jim Nancy.
It sure does. Jim
There's
Nancy.
a wizard in the stands and Westwood on the floor. I'm like, what? You know, if you write it down, you tend to get burned.
Yeah. All right, so it's Friday, and I'm going to have a moment of honesty here. It's the LA County Department of Mental Health Mindful Minute. And these guys around here know, but it's so weird. This was such a great week, right? We got inducted into the LA California Sports Broadcasters Hall of Fame. And yet, and I've talked about this, I am 25 years ago diagnosed bipolar 1. Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense. Everything was great. I felt depressed all week. I was really down on myself. And that happens. And it can happen because you're overloaded at work. You're not getting along with your boss. You're not getting along with your wife or your husband. You're struggling there.
What's weird, though, about this is that none of those things were true about you, which I think is the hardest thing to understand about mental health.
Yeah.
I used to play basketball with a guy, and we got hot one game and ran the table.
Yep.
And we were picking and rolling, and he was making everything. And at the end of the game, he said, I got to sit out. I go,
Yeah.
why? He goes, I'm just going through some depressing stuff. And I went, I don't get it. And he goes, I know you don't.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to explain, right?
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
why I always say find a support system. I am really lucky. Juan is my rock. He is always there for me. I love him, and he is the central focus of my life. And I can talk to him about this stuff. You can hopefully talk to your wife or husband. Or
You know
maybe
what's so interesting about this? I'm sorry to hijack your
please.
spot, but it's all what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know who Rex Chapman is, right?
Yes.
He came out with an autobiography this week.
Yeah.
And he, like you,
I
has
watched him on NBC, I think, last night.
CBS, yeah,
CBS,
with my friend Dana. Yeah. And what Chapman said, somebody said, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, because the number one thing, it's so funny you bring this up. The number one thing I would tell somebody is talk to someone, talk to anyone.
Yes.
Just say it out loud to someone else, which is the point you're trying to make.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if for some reason you feel like you don't have that, I encourage you to do that. Whether it's somebody in your family or somebody at work or a dear friend, or you have a counselor or a psychiatrist or a psychologist, do all that stuff. And if you don't, there are free emotional support and service referrals and crisis counseling services available to you 24/7 from the LA County Department of Mental Health. So if you don't have somebody to talk to, here's a phone line, 800-854-7771. 800-854-7771. You can also visit their website at dmh.lacounty.gov. That's dmh.lacounty.gov. Hope, recovery, and well-being with the LA County Department of Mental Health. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
LAFC are now 7-0 in season openers, and that's an MLS record as Timothy Tillman got the 2024 party started.
Shot goal! It's Timothy Tillman with a shot from 12 yards out. It's 1-0.
Black and Gold hit the road this Saturday for the first time this season when they visit RSL.
The win is very important for the team. Just need to get the confidence we need for the rest of the season.
Pregame starts Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
All right, Parker. What's up, Greg? Spring training. All right, Parker. Jeez. Little Ohtani and Dodger blue. Yeah, why are you looking at the camera? I don't know. Let's start over. All right, Parker. Dodger spring training. That's right, Greg. Ohtani and Dodger blue. Yeah, Yamamoto's here. Pretty excited about that one. Tons of new faces. I mean, Kike's back. Yes, it's great. Maybe we should talk about it on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. I like that idea. What do you say? 9:30, 9:55? Right, leading right into Travis and Sliwa. Get a couple guests. Maybe Marcus Grant, Travis Rogers, perhaps? Yep, just have a bunch of people come in. Maybe Clinton Yates will even find his way in. Oh, you know, you always want to have the handsome man president right there. Absolutely. All right, well, I think we should do that. We'll do it every day, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 9:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel, thanks to LAX.
Continues now.
Now you know this song. This is my favorite JT song.
Is this Mirrors?
I just think the O's. Oh. You know this song.
I don't think I do.
Get out of
I don't
here.
own it.
This is
that.
like one of his biggest songs, is it? Bergman, isn't it?
It's a pretty big song.
It's
it
a
was
big song.
a few years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's right up there. It's certainly top 5 JT song, I would think. Brian, don't you think?
I don't know. I actually haven't heard this in a long time.
It was really big when it came out.
Yeah, it was very big. Lakers are like a mirror.
That is true.
Yes. Last night they played to the level of their competition. They did survive, which is the most important thing. So, John, for a long time, Charles Barkley has said no social media for him.
Yeah, I've always been jealous of him. I heard he finally broke down.
He broke down. Here is a little bit of what he said.
You on Instagram, sir?
Chuck is on Instagram, everybody.
Seriously, are you officially on Instagram?
I'm trying out social media. It's for business purposes.
What's the name of your?
Yeah, what's your handle, the name that you go by? Charles W. Barkley. W.
So at Charles W. Barkley.
Yes.
So you're gonna be sliding in people's DMs?
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
You're gonna be sliding in people's DMs.
What's the W for? Wait, fool.
Okay, got it. All right.
Wait, you got to teach me how to slide.
No, we ain't teaching you how to slide in no
You
DMs.
learning how to slide in the DMs
You
would
don't
be
need
the
to
worst
slide.
possible.
That is the worst possible thing you could ever do in your position. Don't slide in nothing.
Okay.
You never slide.
Can we ask what you think sliding in the DMs means? Well, you try to give somebody a message.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. Give it up.
Not
Slide
wrong.
in the DM.
All right, Chuck, how do you add something to your story?
I've never used it. I got some.
Wait, who's doing the posting? I've seen posts now.
Montel and Eleanor.
But you tell them what to post. You got somebody to post for you? Hell no, it ain't real.
That ain't real.
That's kind of true.
It is.
Like, I always assume Magic Johnson never posts his own tweets.
But I think what he does is say something really nice about the Lakers, and then somebody writes, the Lakers are the best team when they are, blah. That's the way Magic tweets, I think. Now, what's interesting about Charles is he's using it. If you go to his Instagram page, he's using it to post on a liquor that he just invested
So, like
in.
he said, business purposes.
Business purposes. There's nothing personal.
Right.
It's just like buy my liquor. I don't even know what liquor. You're nobody unless you got a liquor in this town, right? That's basically it. Everybody's got a bottle of something.
For example, my buddy James Worthy is on social media on many fronts. He's on Instagram. He's on Twitter. But his daughters primarily run those accounts, and what they do is they do it to get him branding opportunities. For example, like right in the middle of the week, Worthy will say, if you need a corporate speaker for your event, I'm available. Here's how to reach me. And it's actually his daughter's address.
Oh, is that right?
So they'll line up speaking gigs for him. Or he'll say, I'm on Cameo for $150 if you need a message, and then his Cameo will spike.
Right.
So he uses it for business purposes and does really well.
So I've got somebody that does. I have somebody that posts for me when it comes to the podcast. Nothing else. Everything else is me. But for the podcast, I have somebody posting. I don't think I've ever slid into anyone's DMs, and I rarely get slid into. Now, you don't spend a lot of time on there.
No, and my DMs aren't open.
See, my DMs are always open, and I'm disappointed that more people don't slide into them. Like, they're wide open. Slide. Let's see you slide. Bergman, do you ever slide into DMs?
I will never slide in some. Well, I have in the past.
Uh-huh.
But I don't
How'd
anymore.
it
go? It went well for a little bit.
So there you go. So
it
was worth sliding.
It was sliding at the time, and now I don't do it anymore, and I don't get any more.
What about anybody slide into yours?
No.
Never
So-
corporate Greg,
No,
huh?
no, of course not.
No.
Before I had my iSpot Active shirt,
Yes.
I used to go to a lot of cryo places. And one of the girls that worked at the cryo places, cute young girl, one time I took my mom in there because my mom screwed up her shoulder, and I said, well, let's go try cryo, see if it helps.
Right.
And we walked in, and the girl was sitting behind the counter, and she was talking to this guy. And she goes, hey, John, this is my boyfriend, Chris. And my mom goes, oh, hi, Chris. Nice to meet you. How'd you guys meet? And Grace, the girl, goes, looks at my mom and looks at me. She goes, we met at church. And
that's nice.
And my mom goes, oh, that's great. I'm glad that still happens. And they take my mom back, and Grace comes back, and she looks at me and rolls her eyes and goes, slid into my DM.
It's always good to say you met at church.
Right.
What about you, Bride? You ever slide into anybody's DMs?
Slid into my fiance's DMs, so it
Get
worked
out!
out.
But you knew each other,
I already
right?
knew her, yes.
Yeah.
So it was a little different. Like we knew who each other were.
But you slid into the DMs of someone you know. Does that even qualify as sliding if you actually know the person you're sliding into? I don't know if it does.
No, it doesn't disqualify. No, it doesn't disqualify.
I guess
the
it
DM.
is a slide, no
I
matter
still
what.
slid. I still took my shot, kind of deal.
Are your DM now? My DMs are open, so hopefully somebody will slide in. Not that anything's going to happen, but I just would be complimented if somebody would actually take the time to slide.
Yeah, people that are in my DMs are all people asking me for something.
Juan would be so mad at you.
For?
If someone slid into your DMs?
Yeah, but as long as you don't do anything with it, it's fine.
Right, you can flirt. You just can't act on the
not,
flirt.
oh, no, he can't even flirt.
I'm not
No
even
way.
Gonna flirt. I'm not even going to flirt.
Yeah, yeah.
You just slide in. I'll. That's it.
If someone slid into your DMs, John, would you flirt?
Yeah, but I would talk about Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean
then that's not flirting.
That's not flirting.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I
It's like the opposite
the
of
moment
flirting.
you mention your wife,
Right.
Yeah.
the flirting is
flirting
canceled.
goes away.
Yeah, flirting.
yeah.
Is,
So then I guess that's a no.
yeah, that is
yeah.
no. Yeah, it's probably best to steer away from sliding. I'm still learning. By the way, Charles, I'm still learning the stories feature. Like Bergman, I've started to do some stories on my Instagram. Have you seen them?
I've seen some of them. I try not to look at them
Why?
too often.
What's wrong with them?
Because they're silly.
Yeah, well,
It's
they're
like you talking. Hey, it's Mace. I'm walking down the street. Look at that. I'm passing the Kobe statue.
So what are the stories supposed to be?
I mean, just things that are. I don't know. You don't really talk into them.
You
I
don't
feel
talk
like.
into
Yeah,
stories?
it's like
I'll
things
quit
you're doing.
talking into the stories then. What about the TikTok? Do you talk into TikTok?
I think
people
not
do.
silly.
People do like lectures and stuff on TikTok.
They do,
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, okay.
So it doesn't matter what I say. It's what
you're
you
right.
want it to
Well, it's like everything else. It doesn't matter what Greg says.
Absolutely not. I'm just going to make fun of you for it because it's silly.
Make fun relentlessly. All right, coming up next for you, going to spin the wheel of questions. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
Your show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
Okay, this Wheel of Questions contains some audio. I need to explain it. So, last week they had the ACC swimming championships, and there was a kid named Owen Lloyd, swims for NC State.
Got it.
Who won the 1650 freestyle event and was so excited that he won. He hit the wall, then he jumped up on the rope, you know, the lane rope.
Yeah, sure, the lane rope, yeah.
And threw his hands up in the air like, I did it. And the people at the event said, you're disqualified. You cannot jump on a rope or go into anybody else's lane.
Yes.
Even though his race was over. And so this guy was obviously devastated.
Yeah.
But then something weird happened. They awarded the win to a guy named Ross Dent,
Okay.
who finished second but now they're saying you win, you're the champion.
Right.
Because the first place winner is disqualified. But Ross Dent, they go to interview him after the race, and he doesn't want it. Here's what Ross Dent said.
I think that's the dumbest rule in swimming. Owen beat me fair and square. He should be on that toe of the podium. He was excited. That's a huge win for him, right? He earned that, and that's his emotion, right? That's what we get in the sport of swimming when we do well. We train all year for a moment like that, and to have him disqualified, I think, is the dumbest thing ever.
Do you mind
He works so hard every day. He is going to be on that #1 trophy. I am not going to stand up there.
Ross, do you mind if I ask you what rule did he break? We haven't even heard of up here.
Whenever you win, you're not allowed. Well, the other teams, or excuse me, the other swimmers are still swimming. You have to stay in your own lane. You're not allowed to jump or cross over the lane line into someone's lane. And in his celebration, which he earned, he came over to my lane.
Oh my God.
No, he earned that fair and square. He will be getting that medal.
All right, Greg. So here's the question. We're all swimming in the Olympics.
Yep.
So let's raise the stakes, okay?
Yep.
I'm swimming for Ireland. Mason's swimming for Poland. Brian's swimming for the United States. You're swimming for Israel.
Okay, great.
I win, okay?
Yeah.
I jump up on your rope lane. You touch the wall, finish second. They say, Ireland, you're disqualified for going into Bergman's lane. Bergman, you are the winner. Do you accept the victory and take it, or you do what this guy did?
Israel, this is for you.
You're not having it. You're taking it?
Yeah, I'm taking it for Israel. Come on now.
Brian?
I'd like to think I would do the same thing that Ross Dent here did, but, if it's the Olympics and they're handing you that gold, it's going to be hard to say no.
Well, the reason I use the Olympics is because nothing is more sacred to Mace than the Olympics.
Yes.
He loves the Olympics. So it's me against you.
Yep.
It's Ireland against
Poland?
Mashansky.
Yeah.
Ireland against Poland. I hit the wall.
Yep.
I
Then you
win.
jump over.
Then I jump on your rope. You come in second,
Yep.
and some suit comes over and goes, Ireland, you're disqualified. Mason, you're the winner.
Yep.
Do you accept the win?
John, what do I like? What am I in this business for? What do I love more than anything?
Awards.
Thank you for the gold medal.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You guys
Thank
would
you
all
for
do
the
that?
gold medal. Poland
In
may
the
have never
Olympics?
won a gold medal in the Olympics before.
You didn't win this one.
Israel doesn't win anything in swimming. What are we talking about here?
But you didn't win.
I did.
No, if the rules are broken, the rules are broken. Sorry,
You're
rules
not
are rules.
allowed in my lane.
Take
You
a step
came in
down
my
to
lane.
that silver part of it.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
did this guy
he's
get-
disqualified. He's out.
He was DQ'd. He didn't even get anything.
Nothing.
Correct.
Oh,
Nothing.
And I will say, though,
You win nothing.
Ross, they were teammates.
You lose.
So he celebrated in his teammate's lane. with
okay,
them.
well, that makes a difference, too, if it's his teammate.
Oh, so Ross didn't
You
swim
lose!
free and see
Right.
straight day two.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they
okay.
finished 1-2
So that
as a
gives
school.
that gives a little more.
That means,
context.
yeah, I would say that's my buddy. He swam. He really
But
won. I give him
On
the
second
yeah.
thought, though, if we were like.
If it's like America,
if
America,
Mason
America.
and I Mason and I did have a swim competition. If they DQ'd me for something, Mason would take that win easy.
Oh yeah, I'd take that. I'd take
So would
that.
I.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Ross Dent went. That idiot gave it to me. I'll take it.
I think you raise the stakes to the Olympics, and
It changes.
it's different than winning the ACC.
Just a little bit.
Winning the ACC, winning the Olympic gold medal, there's a big leap there.
If we were doing the
I thought this
Pac-12
guy.
championship.
I thought this guy Ross Dent came off great in that story.
Oh no, he comes
Yeah.
off really good. He's missing a trophy,
but he's right. If it's the Pac-12 championship and it was all four of us, it'd be like, yeah, cool. This
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
all right,
You're the
let me-
Pac-12 champion.
All right, let me change subjects on you guys.
Okay.
I'm going to throw another dilemma at you.
Yep.
Since it's
Is
an
it about
effort.
the Pac-2?
Effort Friday.
The Pac-2.
I'm so mad. You know, very quietly, that Pac-12 commissioner got fired.
Yeah,
Over the
'cause he
All-Star
should
break.
have
Well, who is he commissioning?
Yeah.
Two
You
teams.
can't just commission Oregon State and Washington State. That's,
But they brought
they
somebody
don't
else in.
need a commissioner.
They have a
no,
commissioner.
They did. They hired some woman to be the commissioner.
Yep.
Well, what's she going to do? It's just basically
She's going to visit Pullman and Corvallis a lot.
repeatedly,
Yeah.
apparently.
All right, so Mace, who's the most famous person you've ever had on the Culture Pop podcast? The biggest get.
I would say, because he's in the news. I mean, all these comics: Richard Lewis, Stephen Wright, Glenn Powell is right up there.
Okay, Glenn Powell's a good one for this. Let's say, like when you and I went to Craig's,
Yes.
We're at Craig's. And you look over.
Yep.
And I say, hey, Mace, there's Glenn Powell.
Mm-hmm.
You had him on your podcast.
Yes.
You should go say hello.
Yeah.
Would you?
If I had the podcast angle, I probably would.
Okay.
I'd say, Glenn, great to meet you. You were on my podcast. You were great.
Okay.
Congratulations on anyone but you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it sounds wrong, but it is the name of the movie.
So this exact scenario happened to Adam Sandler. Okay. He'll explain it, but he goes to a restaurant and he looks over and he's met Paul McCartney because McCartney's been on SNL a few times. And his friends say to him, like I just said to you, hey, you've met McCartney. You should go say hello. But Sandler didn't know what to do. Here he is on Conan O'Brien's podcast this week explaining how this all went down.
McCartney was at a restaurant the other night, and it's actually my friend's restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew he was coming. I was with my wife and her friends and my friends, and they were like, you've met McCartney, go say hello. I said, yeah, absolutely. And I got up. I saw a side shot of his head. He was eating. And I was like, hey, come on, man, just say hello. And then I saw Ringo was at the table, too. And he looked up, and I went, I can't handle it. And I just kept going.
All right, so he couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. And he's Adam Sandler.
Right.
McCartney knows who he is.
Right. I'm actually, Greg, what would you...
Well, I know what you would do because I saw it in person.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
I hate bothering famous people.
He would not do it.
I absolutely hate it.
I mean, you're not the same level. McCartney and Sandler are not the same level, but Sandler's pretty close.
Yeah, he is.
So to be able to walk up to
Who's
McCartney,
the most famous person you've ever spoken to in person? You talked to Jack Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson, yeah. That's
so
it,
if you walked in, you saw Jack Nicholson sitting at a table, would you approach him?
Nope.
Brian, who's the most famous person you've ever spoken to?
I don't know. Maybe Tony Gwynn Jr.
All right. So if you saw him, would you say, hey, Tony, Brian, we've met a few times, just wanted to say hi, or would you just let him eat?
Probably let him eat. A little too scared to do, yeah.
See, if they've been on the podcast, it's different. Like, for example, when I did a celebrity poker tournament, Kevin Pollak actually came to me and said, hey, I was on your podcast. I was like, well, I was very complimented by that. That was very nice.
That he remembered it.
But if you've got that angle you can play, I don't see why you don't play it. I also heard, by the way, in that same interview that, you know what person made him the most nervous that he ever met?
Who?
Taylor Swift. He says it's because all of his kids love Taylor Swift, and he didn't want to screw it up for them. But that's, I mean, now, you are okay when people approach you in a restaurant.
Yeah, people can approach me all they want. I would never approach them. You remember?
You didn't approach Kate Beckinsale when we were both at Craig's. Yeah,
and I've met her. Gunnar Peterson, who was our head of our training for a couple of years, trains her. He's her personal trainer.
Yes.
And he knew I was obsessed with Kate Beckinsale. So at a game, he introduced me to her, and she was super nice.
Yeah.
And Lisa's met her. Lisa and her had the same doctor, and they were at a fundraiser for the doctor. So Lisa, I've told you the story. Lisa took a picture with Kate Beckinsale.
You're right.
And then sent it to me and said, just think, honey, you can sleep with one of these women whenever you want. I thought that was kind of mean.
Oh, that is,
I thought
as a
that
matter
was
of
cool.
fact.
Yeah. But I don't like bothering people. People can bother me, but it's weird. I don't like bothering other famous people.
I'm trying to think if I've ever actually done it.
And the worst is when when I walk up to somebody who I don't think they'll remember me, and then they'll look at me like I'm crazy. Like I walk up to Lasorda and I'd go, "Hey, Tommy John Ireland, good to see you." He goes, "John, I've met you 25 times. You don't have to introduce yourself."
Yeah, right.
But
right.
I still do it.
Yeah, no, it's still the polite thing.
I'm used to them not knowing who, they meet 100 people a day.
Right. The bottom line is, if you ever see us anywhere, feel free.
Yeah,
bother away.
Yeah, well, you can bother us, but if you're famous, we probably won't bother you. Unless you're Glenn Powell.
I actually feel proud of myself when I get bothered. Like that. Somebody knows who I am.
Don't you know who I am?
Don't you know him? All right, coming up next, we're going to do the 2 o'clock call of the day. It's Friday. That means anything goes. Ask us whatever. Lakers last night barely survived against Washington at Crypto. LeBron's going to pass 40,000 points tomorrow night. There's all kinds of Dodgers in spring training now. Shohei got married. All this, 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN. Maybe it's the most famous person that you ever did walk up to
and
talk to. 877-710-ESPN. After that, John, Eating in bed is back and better than ever.
No.
It's coming up.
Oh, God.
Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right. If you heard me earlier talking about how I used to go to cryotherapy all the time, I would go into one of those cryo places. I'd drop $75. I'd go in there for 3 minutes, and it would make me feel better. It gets rid of all your soreness. But now, iSpot Active has developed wearable cryotherapy. You got to go to this website, iSpotActive.com. ICEBOD active.com. You'll see on that website Hall of Famer James Worthy. You'll see a doctor, both giving testimonials. It'll answer any questions you have. And here's the best part. If you buy anything off the iSpot Active website, they're wearable cryotherapy. These are compression shirts and pants with slots in them where you slide in these ice-cold gel packs and you just leave them on for 20 minutes. And if you're like me, your soreness is going to feel much, much better. If you go to that website, it'll answer any questions you have. And here's the two things that I think make it a no-brainer. Number one, always free shipping. Number two, 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you go to iSpot Active and you buy something and you try it and for whatever reason it doesn't work for you, you can always send it back and get a full refund. But you won't. I've been using this for 3-4 months. Mason's been using this for a couple of weeks.
Great for my shoulder.
So use iSpot Active. Get these compression shirts and pants, particularly if you play pickleball, golf, tennis, soccer, basketball. If you're older like me and you want to stay active, this thing is a game changer. Check it out today. iSpot Active, iSpotActive.com.
Most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Would like to thank my friend Dre on Twitter, who says, Bergman is so wrong. Venice May stories are exactly for random Babel videos and Kobe statue pics.
There you go, Greg.
Do anything you want in stories. It disappears anyway.
Look, man, it's yours. If you want to be silly on yours,
once you post the story, it goes away?
After 24
hours. Yeah, it's there for 24 hours, then it disappears.
Yeah, but it never really does, right?
I don't know. I guess somebody could screenshot it if they wanted to.
No, it goes away. You can screenshot it, but it's a video. So what is that going to do?
Yeah, what's that? Good point.
There is an option. I think you could save them. If you like a story, like you could post it to some certain thing and it'll be there forever.
Interesting. By the way, is this Paul McCartney?
Yes, it is.
Right? Is this the song that they did?
Like the AI, I think.
The AI version?
Yeah. Oh,
they AI'd the Lennon part of this, and they mixed vocal. Crank it up a little bit. See, now, do you buy this as a...
Sounds like Lennon.
It's definitely McCartney, too.
I have no issue with it as long as the artist doesn't have an issue with it. Like
yeah,
whoever,
Yoko was in on this deal.
Right. If she's in it and she's approved it and his family is behind it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too.
If they don't want it, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2 o'clock call of the daytime. We were talking about celebrity encounters, and a bunch of them popped onto the phones. Where do you want to start?
Let's go to Eric in L.A. on line 2.
Eric, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
All right, guys. So 1979, I was a freshman in Eastern Arizona Junior College. My buddy was playing for Pepperdine Hoops. I come out to visit, and going up, we're driving up PCH, stop at a light, and Johnny Carson walks across the street. And my grandmother, that was the only show as a kid that I got to stay up late to watch. So I'm like, Tony, you got to pull over, man. I got to go get an autograph. He's like, man, I heard Johnny Carson really doesn't like people to approach him like that. I said, I don't care. I only got one shot. Get out, go into the restaurant he was in, and I guess this place that he used to eat at a lot. He's got a newspaper in his hand, and I come up to him, and I said, excuse me, sir, Mr. Carson. I said, my name is Eric Griffin. Obviously, you don't know who I am, but my grandmother is a big, big fan of yours from Detroit, Michigan, and it would mean the world to me if I could get you to sign an autograph for her. He said, young man, I normally don't do this, but you approached me so nice. What's your grandmother's name?
Wow.
I told him, Fannie Louise Williams. He signed it. I gave it to her. She was so happy, and that was one memory I'll never forget.
Oh, my gosh, that's such a great ending. I thought that story was going a completely different way,
Me
Eric.
too. I thought it was going to go bad. I'm glad it went well.
Thanks for calling. That was very good.
Did you ever meet Carson?
No, but you did, didn't you? Or
I
know
did.
you. I know you met. Was it Peter LaSalle that you worked
I was
for
having
at some
dinner
point
with
in your life?
Peter LaSalle and Tom Snyder, and Johnny Carson was the other side of the room. And this was after he retired. And he...
We heard the story before,
I know.
guys.
I have told the story before. That was me. I was just goofing. I've told this story before.
I didn't press that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard this.
So they go over and talk to Carson because they know Carson, obviously. Yeah. I stay at the table. I'm at the corner table, and I'm just waiting for them to come back from Carson. Peter LaSalle turns to me, waves me over. So I'm like, oh, my God, am I going to meet you? Get up there, and Peter LaSalle introduces me to Johnny Carson and says, he's going to do the same thing you do. I'm like, I am not going to do the same thing you can do.
You can't set the bar any higher.
But it was so nice. And it was weird because Carson this was after he retired. His hair was real shaggy.
Yeah.
And he had kind of a little pot belly. It's clear that he was like, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. And nobody ever saw him again except one appearance, right?
He went on Letterman.
He went on Letterman and didn't say anything.
He came out and like Letterman goes, our first guest is Johnny Carson, and he came out and with like a portable desk and sat it in front of him. He goes, now I feel comfortable. Letterman goes, well, I need to interview you, and I guess he left.
Yeah, he left.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so one of the great stories of all time with this is if you guys like Don Rickles and Frank Sinatra were friends.
Okay.
Like Rickles used to open up for Frank Sinatra a lot. And one of the reasons why they got along is that Rickles did not care. He would tell Sinatra stuff to his face that other people wouldn't, and it would make Frank laugh.
Right.
So one day, they're in Vegas, and Sinatra was as big, maybe the most famous person in the world at that point.
Yep.
And he's having dinner in one corner of the restaurant, and Rickles is in there with his wife and her family, her mom and dad.
Okay.
So Rickles sneaks away for a second and walks over to the table. He goes, Frank. He goes, hey, Don, how's it going? He goes, listen, I normally would never ask you to do this, but I'm having dinner with my wife and her parents.
Okay.
And her parents are like your biggest fans.
Right.
If you could just come by the table and say hello, it would make their life. Frank goes, sure, Don. I'll do it as soon as we're done eating. So Don goes, thanks very much. He goes back to the table. And 20 minutes later, Sinatra walks over. He goes, hey, Don. He goes, Frank, We're having dinner here and you're interrupting. Get the hell out of here. And Sinatra thought it was so funny he just busted up laughing and left.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he just set him up to fail.
Rickles not alive anymore, is he?
No,
he
just
passed
lost
away.
him.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Just lost him.
Let's do one more. Let's take Fred in Simi Valley. Fred, good afternoon.
How you doing, gentlemen?
Hi, Fred.
Listen, several years ago, I'm going to say in the mid-'90s, they had a re-showing of Ben-Hur and at the Alex Theater in Glendale. And I took my wife, and there was practically no room. We were up in the balcony. Then she looks below and sees all these seats down below. So she goes down there, and there's a yellow, police tape going across an aisle. And she goes down, and she starts waving me down, and I'm going, oh, Jesus, I'm going to lose our seats. But I go down, and there's a lady sitting there, and I said, are these seats taken? And she said, no, only the ones here at the yellow wire. Everything in front of us is fine. So we get to sit there, and a whole bunch of people followed. Next thing you know, Charlton Heston shows up. And I look behind me, and I see him, and I says, honey, that's, we're going to see him in this film today. He's a famous actor. It turns out that it was his wife that I talked to, and at intermission, I got a chance to stand up and shake his hand, say hello to him and all of that. And he was much shorter than I would have ever imagined.
Huh. But that's good that he was nice to you because a lot of people aren't.
Yeah. I stole a line. I always steal a line from him. I'm like, you'll have to take this microphone from my cold dead hands. I believe he's the originator of that.
Wasn't he an NRA
NRA,
spokesman?
and it was like a gun. You have to take it from his cold dead hands.
Right.
Ryan just texted me this story. Snoop Dogg, his blunt roller has come out and done an interview.
Okay.
His blunt roller is somebody named Piranha.
Okay.
He revealed how many joints the rapper smokes per day. So first of all, let's just say, to have a personal blunt roller, that is a luxury item for sure. How many joints do you think Snoop rolls a day? Or I'm sorry, smokes a day?
I'm going to say 20.
Okay, 20 is a good guess. Bergman, what do you think?
40.
40? Brian?
I'm going to go 28.
How does 150 joints a day strike
My
you?
goodness.
Wow.
Not just for him.
Well, wait. She revealed the rapper Kansas smokes half a pound of marijuana a day. That's 150 joints. Half a pound of marijuana a day?
Insane.
That's crazy. You're just living high at that point, aren't you?
I mean,
I used to play golf with a guy that was a functioning stoner that had a joint going at all times.
That's a joint or a vape?
Joint.
Joint?
An actual joint that he was sharing with others.
Oh, wow.
But he just kept going from the time we started golfing early in the morning, like 6:30 in the morning, the whole round.
You never take a hit off that?
No.
Never.
Because he had the really good stuff.
Would you golf better or worse if you
Oh,
would?
worse. Well, way worse.
But some people, I think, better.
He played better.
Yeah,
as the day
he
went
functioned
on.
well.
Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about I gave up eating in bed a while back.
Yeah.
For years, I ate in bed.
I know.
So
I thought you were maturing, and you're telling me now you've gone back to it?
I have not, but many millennials are doing it. So I came across this story from the New York Post. It's from a polling site. They surveyed 2,000 adults. Millennials, as a generation, are most likely to tuck it in with a midnight snack, with 40% conceding they eat in bed. 40% eat in bed.
Can't do it.
By the way, and it also shows that 50% of millennials eat something right before going to sleep, whether that be something sweet or that be something savory, salty, whatever that is.
That's what you shouldn't do if you're trying to lose weight. They say if you're trying to lose weight, don't eat anything after 7 o'clock.
Now we have a brand new policy at the house. I found out what the new policy is this morning.
Okay,
which is no desserts at all. Now
at any time.
At any time. No desserts, period. End of story.
This coming
done.
from the guy who used to literally have DoorDash deliver donuts nightly.
And now no desserts at all. Now I've always thought
I think you may win the bet. Greg, what's the bet? He's got to be under 195 by what day?
By did we say the end of the month? I think it was the end of the month.
I'm 192.5 right now. which is bad for me. I try to stay under 180.
You were over. Oh no, that's about right.
Yeah. It's 192 and my goal is at
April 1st.
By the end of the year, I want to weigh 180. That's my goal. By the end of the year, 180. But I can get under your number easy. I can get under your number by Monday.
You are under my number now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So I win.
No, we're going to weigh you on April 1st.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Well, April 1st, we'll bring in a scale, and you have to stand on it.
And if it's 195 or over, I win. And if it's under 195, Bergman wins.
When you go to the doctor and they always weigh you the very first thing, when was the last time you were at the doctor?
2 months ago.
Okay. And they weigh you right away, right?
Yeah.
Do you take your shoes off?
If he asks me to.
Yeah. But what about if somebody just says, get on the scale?
Then I can just get on it.
Oh, see, no, I take my shoes off because I want to put the best number down for my doctor.
So,
to
Greg,
see.
for this bet, then I will give you that break. Mason can do it without. He's got to leave his clothes on, but he can take his shoes off because that's a heavy
shoes
side.
off.
Shoes off.
Okay.
Done.
Shoes off, I think is fair. I think that's fair. All right, tell you what, coming up next, remember that NFL playoff game that was streamed back in January?
Yeah, they paid $100 million for it.
Get ready. It's going to happen again.
Really? I thought they took so much heat for it, they weren't going to do it again.
Details next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about my buddy Jacob Emrani. So, if you... Oh, there you go.
You're good.
If you are injured in any kind of accident, the guy you want on your side is Jacob. I've been telling you about him for years. He's a friend of mine. He's been doing this for 25 years in this town, and one of the big things that's going on right now is, you're driving out this weekend, going out for the night, or driving out to the desert, down to San Diego, whatever it is, bam, another car hits you, bam. You're angry, you get frustrated, you ache a little bit. So what should you do at that point? The easiest thing to do is to call Jacob. Put this number in your phone, 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Now, nobody plans on being in an accident, but when it happens, you got to immediately call Jacob. He and his team are available 24/7, so no matter what time of day or night, you can call Jacob from the scene. He and his team will walk you through the process, taking photos of not just the car, but the other car too, getting witness phone numbers, a lot of other tips, so he can strengthen your case. So listen, before heading out this weekend, put Jacob's number in your phone. A lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob. He'll win for you. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
and don't forget to follow Jacob on Instagram and Facebook. Go to @call.jacob. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN. John, you know who this is?
All right, let me hear it. I don't know, but I'll guess.
Okay.
Billie Eilish.
No. It's
Who is
actually
it?
Justin Bieber, who turns.
I didn't even get the
it's a
sex
young
of the
Bieber,
person.
It's a very young Bieber. He turns 30
didn't.
today. This, by the way, is like Bieber from when he's like 15,
like 15
right?
Bieber, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this was a big hit, this song.
Oh, this was big, yeah.
Bieber is among probably the most 3 famous people we ever had in the third chair.
Yeah.
Bieber, we got a huge,
and you had him when he was like a big deal,
yeah,
right?
he was there with Selena Gomez, but he came up. He just kept saying, "Boom goes the dynamite." We
Yeah, I
actually
love
let
that.
him call the game.
I love that.
And he goes, shoots from the right side, boom goes the dynamite.
Hey, why don't you do third chair anymore?
Yeah, you should do it.
We might bring it back, but the reason we invented it was that the Lakers were so bad, we wanted to take the emphasis off of how bad they were and give people something else to listen to. And now the Lakers are kind of good again.
Yeah, no.
So we don't want to take anything away from the game. But if they go through a season where it looks like they're going to be like the team we played last night,
Right.
Washington, that has 9 wins, the third chair will make a triumphant return.
There you go.
There you go.
So,
one last thing for
yeah.
the broadcast last night. I got in my car after halftime, and I was listening to you on the way in.
Yeah.
And Michael Thompson was explaining something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but in the middle of it, he just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I'm debating whether or not I'm actually going to tell you because it will cause you to do something. Do you know the answer to this?
I do know the answer to this.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, no. I think I know.
All right.
He just stopped mid-sentence.
All right.
Does it have to do with sitting on the aisle?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
All right. So here's the deal. Michael
Boy.
really likes to sit in the aisle
Yeah.
because he's tall and it gives him the maximum leg
room, right.
So I said, 2 years ago when he went to the aisle, I said, Amanda was still here at the time. And I said, Amanda, I think we should let him sit in the aisle. But the problem is Michael's too nice to tell people to get lost. And people will just walk up to him during the game and strike up a conversation with him. And Michael will take his headphones off and talk to him. Or they'll come up and hand him a bag of chips and he'll say, thank you.
Thank you.
Or he'll take pictures. I go, we've got to move him in off the rail. And Michael said, no. If you let me sit in the aisle, I promise I won't do that. And for the most part, Greg, he's been pretty good until last night.
Right.
Now,
was that just the one time?
Yeah, and there's actually it's who it was that I think you might let it slide.
Mm.
It was Bill Sharman's granddaughter.
Well,
and
I mean, come on.
She said, "Can I take a picture to send to Joyce, Bill's widow?" And Michael took off his things. He goes, "Anything for Joyce, sure." And so he's right in the middle of his sentence. The girl walks up.
Like, hold
Michael
on.
turns off his own mic, takes
Yep.
off his headset, takes a picture, and then rejoins the game. Which I said, and I looked at him and I went, "You're going to get kicked out of that chair." He goes, It's Bill Sharman, you know. So maybe we let this one slip, but if he does it again, I think you have to step in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I talked to Funches, but because I heard it and I sent a
Yeah, it
text
was
to
bad.
Funches
It
and I
was
was like,
bad.
"What? Why did that happen?" And he said, I won't say what he
You
said.
couldn't hear him having a conversation, though, could you? Or could
No,
you?
he turned his mic up, but there was dead air.
There was dead
He
air.
was in the middle of making a point, so I was like looking up a note or something. He just stops talking, and I look over and he doesn't even have his headset on, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
The funniest part was you can hear Michael Funches in the background going, "He's on the air. He's on the air."
Actually, you know what?
Should we move him off the aisle to avoid that from happening?
I'm on Team Michael.
He gave me Funches told me what happened, and I said, "Okay, this is the strike, but it's only one strike."
Fair. That's fair. We'll tell him he'll be in here on Monday.
Yeah,
Michael will be in here on Monday. We'll tell him he's got to not do that.
Now you've done a couple of games since your longtime stat man Doug Mann passed away.
Yeah, it's weird.
Who's now doing your games,
Nobody
and what's that
yet.
like? No.
Yeah, and we don't know if we're going to replace Doug. He's somewhat irreplaceable because he was so good at it. And to be candid, there's very limited space at that table. You've sat at
I've
that
sat
table.
there
and
next.
you're-
I sat
you're
next to
crammed in
Doug.
next
Yeah,
to him. So we're debating whether or not we'd rather have the space than the guy. If we can't, before there was no debate because Doug was so good, but now we're debating back and forth.
Oh,
So
got it.
We'll see.
That must be weird. Must be weird.
Yeah, it's sad.
All right. So this everybody got all, including me, got very pissed off when there is an NFL playoff game streaming last year on Peacock, and they paid how much? $100
million.
$100 million. So
But now remember when Amazon took over Thursday nights?
Yes.
part of their deal was if you ever start streaming playoff games, we get the right of first refusal.
Right.
So last year when they let Peacock stream a game, that activated the clause in Amazon's contract.
Got it.
So now Amazon's going to pay $125 to do a game next year.
Well, actually, CNBC is saying $150 million.
So even more than that,
Yeah.
$25 million more than I thought.
Yeah.
So what I fear is if they're willing to pay $150 million, and we already know that Peacock's willing to pay $100,
right?
How long is it going to be before all the playoff games are streamed? I mean, you can't turn down that money. There's only 32 owners, so they're each pocketing. They all get the money, so they're each pocketing. What is that? $3-4 million every time we do it? They're not going to walk away from that, are they?
God, it's just
it's unnecessary because they make so much money.
They make so much money. They make so much money, and now you're basically it's like a tax on your fans. It's like you're taxing fans by having to get streaming services to watch playoff games.
Is like my mom and your mom, and they both have significant others now, and and if they want to watch the game, they don't know how to stream. I mean, they'll call us and we'll walk them through it.
Right.
But it's kind of unfair to your older fans.
Yeah. My mom and not stepdad Leo don't even know it. I'll say, hey, have you watched True Detective? Did you get HBO? I don't know if we get HBO.
Yeah, my mom doesn't.
I don't think they know what they have.
She goes, I don't think I get that.
Yeah.
And I went, you do, Mom. I set it
right,
up
and then I'll go there, and it's like, yes, you do have HBO. So I do have this note, though. This is encouraging. The Super Bowl is apparent. You've always said it's ultimately going to wind up streaming?
I think so, because I think somebody will overpay. They'll give them the proverbial offer they can't refuse.
So it is locked up until 2033. The Super Bowl is spoken for till 2033.
On broadcast TV.
On broadcast television,
Right,
yeah.
good.
So that's not going to happen soon. But
so, Bergman, you're still a complete cord cutter, right? You don't have cable. You don't have an over-the-air antenna, right?
Nope.
So if you wanted to watch Channel 2 News, KCBS,
okay,
could you?
Yeah.
How?
DirecTV stream.
Oh, you have DirecTV stream.
Yeah.
So no cable, but you have the DirecTV stream.
So you get local.
I can get.
You get
every
local
channel.
channels through that. What do you pay for DirecTV stream?
I don't know. It comes out of my account.
That's excellent financial awareness on your part.
$70. I need Rocket Mortgage. That's what I need.
You're going places, kid.
You need an accountant.
Yeah,
is what you
need somebody to look into that. Is what you need. I've actually. Do you watch local? I started watching Alex on Channel 11.
Yeah.
I watch
Great
it
guy.
most nights. Great guy, and they're doing like super local stuff. I think that's where TV news has got to go. It's got to be super hyper local.
Right. Because I worked at KCBS KCAL for 20 years, I still check them out over there so I can watch my friend Pat Harvey and Jim Hill and all those guys. But I don't watch as much as I used to. Certainly not as much as when I worked in it.
Yeah.
And sports has been minimized a lot in those.
It has
newscasts.
been, yeah. I'm not.
Like, does Channel 11 even have a sports anchor now?
Yeah, Kyle Kraska.
He was in San Diego when I was there.
Yeah, he's the sports guy. But I hardly ever am there for the sports. I mean, I get plenty of the sports. Yeah,
and it's the first thing that gets cut if there's a freeway chase.
I mean, I'm just looking for stories about the graffiti tower. What are we doing about the graffiti tower?
Actually, there is a story that's happening right outside our studios that I'll ask you about next.
Okay.
It's an interesting ethical dilemma.
That's coming up. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
LAFC are now 7-0 in season openers, and that's an MLS record, as Timothy Tillman got the 2024 party started.
Shot goal! It's Timothy Tillman with a shot from 12 yards out. It's 1-0.
The Black and Gold hit the road this Saturday for the first time this season when they visit RSL.
The win is very important for the team. Just need to get the confidence we need for the rest of the season.
Pre-game starts Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Ireland, mixing in Ireland. You little Lakers for life, Lakers for life, Lakers for life.
You little. Yeah. Lakers win last night. They beat Washington. Oh, they had it in the bag all night long. Didn't they, Ireland? That
Never
thing,
a doubt.
They sealed up early, and Washington, no chance.
Never a doubt.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm to the point, after the game last night, we said to Beto, you think fans will be happy that they won or mad that they just squeaked by? And he goes, they'll be mad that they just squeaked by.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Take
the win.
I'll take a win anyway I can
And in
get it.
context, they've now won, I think I've got this right, 9 of 12. They've won 9 of their last 12.
Okay, so let me ask you guys something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about this story.
Okay.
8 street vendors, those are people that sell food off their cart,
yeah.
so including some right outside of our studios here at LA Live, were arrested this week for selling alcohol on the street. The alcohol was all seized. Now, part of me understands why the police did it. They're selling without a liquor license. They're not checking IDs.
Right.
But another part of me says these aren't guys selling kegs. They're selling you a can of Modelo with your burrito or whatever you're buying. They're not selling beer by the case here. So I'm not sure arresting these guys who are just trying to make a living is the way to go. Couldn't you just either A, say, hey, you can't sell alcohol here, seize the alcohol and let them go on with their day, or B, if you want to even be a little more reasonable, you can say you're allowed to sell 1 can to any consumer. Nobody's getting drunk off of 1 can.
Right.
I'm just wondering if we should crack down and take all these guys' alcohol and throw them all in jail like is what happened. What do you think?
Well, I don't think this is like you're going to go do hard time.
Right.
But I understand why you can't sell alcohol on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
I
don't
do
think
too.
you can't sell Modelo's out the back of your trunk. I mean,
well, even if you were limited to selling 1 can.
Yeah. Come on.
You don't want to do it?
Because how do you know they're selling one?
If they sell, just how they busted these guys this time. You go in undercover. You say, how many beers can I buy? They say as many as you want. Then you say, okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Greg, what do you think? Do these guys deserve to be arrested?
Unfortunately, if you're selling a can, you don't know, like you're not IDing, so it can go to a 15-year-old, and then you're breaking the law.
Right.
And also, it depends on your body weight. 1 beer can get somebody drunk. It's not going to get you drunk, but it can get somebody very small or even young drunk. So therefore, it's
but I don't think they're
illegal.
selling them to kids Riley's age. I mean,
Well, but you don't know. So that's the thing.
Brian, what do you think? Arrest these guys or let them be?
I don't think arresting them is necessarily the right course, but there's got to be something that's got to be done because, I mean, all these businesses around here, too, are probably the ones that are upset that, the alcohol sales now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think a guy with his cart selling churros and popsicles is putting Mastros out of business, right?
No. Popsicles. And
no, it's not about putting them out of business.
I think you should. First of all, let me just point something out. You know how you see all those hot dog vendors?
Yeah.
Everybody's cooking the hot.
Yeah.
Do you realize that they're all part of one syndicate?
No.
Yeah. It's one company that operates all of the hot dog stands that you see.
What I am assuming, and that it's just some individual proprietor trying to get by, is probably not true.
That lady is working for somebody selling hot dogs, and the cart next to her is working for the same guy and the same. So it's like a.
There you go. Maybe
like a cartel.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Exactly. I had a friend. We went to the Kings game, and he didn't tip them, and I said, like, you got to go tip them. This money doesn't go to them. If you want to actually, the money that they make is maybe they get paid a little bit, but the tip money, that's what they keep. That's how they make their money.
By the way, ever since we brought up
You gotta
tipping
give
the
to
other day, I keep noticing anytime you do anything electronic now, they ask for a tip.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you could be renewing your license at the DMV, and they'll ask. You don't have to give it, but they ask for it.
Yeah, and you feel like a jackass if you don't.
Well, it just depends what it is. Like if
They
you're at the DMV, don't tip because they're crazy.
They show you the little screen, and that you can go 10%, 15%, 19%, 0%.
Well, down in
you feel like a jackass hitting 0%.
The Starbucks one's 1, 2, 3. I got a coffee yesterday, small coffee, like $2.50. $1, $2, $3. I'm not going to tip more.
Tip more than what you paid for the
if you
thing.
don't.
Well, you know what's interesting too, Greg, is the restaurants in Manhattan Beach now all have this electronic handheld thing.
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
at the end of the meal, instead of giving them a credit card and they run back, she just pulls this thing out of her pocket, and then while she's standing in front of me, I have to hit. Am I tipping 10, 15, 20, or 25? So I normally tip 20.
Yeah.
But when you're standing right over you, you feel like a real jerk if you don't tip
Absolutely.
a lot.
Absolutely.
So it's all part of a bigger game, I
Oh,
think.
yeah. We live in this crazy tip culture. So, John, it is National Day of Unplugging. It's the longest you could go completely unplugged. No computer, no phone, no internet.
It's a great question. I'm going to say when I went to China with the Lakers, I pretty much unplugged.
Because they were restricting what you could do anyway,
Yeah,
right?
then I got a VPN and was back in the game. But
Could you do it for one day? One day.
I was just going to say.
No computer, no phone, no nothing.
Yeah, I can give you a day. But after that one day, I think I'd be a little stir crazy. You could, I think, go longer than me because you have.
I actually have gone longer. I've
Yeah.
I've gone a maximum of 4 days with no computer.
My favorite
no
story
phone.
about this is Mason used to always say, "I'm zero dark Mason."
Zero dark Mason.
This is not the one time it happened. So Mason
It's one time.
makes a huge deal about it. Goes up and he goes, "I'm disconnecting. You can try and call me. You can try and text me. You can try and email me. I will not look at it until next week."
Not the same story.
Zero dark Mason.
And I said, "There's no way." And he goes, "I swear, try me." So I tell this story in the air when Ramona's filling in for Mason, and she goes, "I just made a fantasy baseball trade with him 10 minutes ago." And so you didn't. You were completely lying. You were basically Kaplan.
I was in contention.
You were just making stuff up.
No, I was in contention
Yeah.
in that league that year.
Yeah. So he never went dark at all, Greg.
No, there was zero dark, nothing.
You know what I think? I'm going to drag everybody into this. Have you ever, when you're with your mom?
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself looking at your phone while she's looking at her phone?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this happens all the time. So I'm out to the desert this
Normally
weekend.
when I go to my mom's house, I just throw my phone in the corner and give her my undivided attention.
So coming up on this weekend, I'm going to be out in Palm Desert and I was seeing my mom and not stepdad Leo. Now, the last time I was there, it was me, Juan, mom, not stepdad Leo, and we were sitting there together, which is nice, right?
Yeah.
You all get together.
Was everybody looking at their phone?
Everybody has their own device going on. It's like I'm spending time with my mom and she's playing friggin' Candy Crush. It's like you're not even present for each other anymore. So I think we're going to do that phone stacking thing tomorrow when we get there.
And then
take everybody's phone, stack them up. Now we're going to have a conversation. Now we're going to talk.
Yeah, I like
you
it.
do it at restaurants. The first person that touches has to pay the whole bill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good rule. That's a good rule.
The first person to reach for their phone has to pay for all of it.
And by the way, I can go for a very long time without my phone. I go up to a camp in Northern California and no Wi-Fi, no nothing. I'm there for weeks, and it's great.
For weeks?
I love it. I love it.
Weeks, multiple weeks?
Multiple weeks, yes. And I will go there. I go for a week at most years.
Yeah.
But I've gone for 2 weeks, 4 weeks. Yeah, it's great.
So could you do this? My friend Kara, who talks more than me, okay? I mean, she never stops talking like I don't. I mean, her and I, if you get us at the same dinner, nobody else is talking.
Got it.
She goes to a camp every year, Greg.
Yeah.
Where you're not allowed to speak for a week. You cannot speak to another human. It's a silence camp.
Mm-hmm.
Could you do that?
No, I can't do that.
I don't think I could either.
I've done it for 2 days. I did it for 2 days a number of years back.
Was there any payoff to it?
Well, it was interesting because it was December the 30th, December the 31st, and then at midnight you were allowed to talk. So you were silent for 2 days leading up to the new year.
The funny thing is, I'm assuming this was the case with you. At least it is with her. You got to pay a lot of money to go to this camp.
It was not a cheap thing.
So you're paying money to not talk.
Yes.
Couldn't you just do that without paying money?
Now, Bergman, could you do that? Could you do multiple days without talking?
By getting paid?
It's like a silent retreat situation.
I mean, if I had to do it and it was something that I was going to go do, yes, I absolutely can.
Yeah.
I go quiet for long periods of time just in general.
So actually, I do too. That's why I don't respond to your text messages after 9 o'clock at night.
That's not a
no, but that's still, I don't want to be
typing.
communicated.
You're
I don't
still
want
not
anybody
talking.
to communicate with me when it's evening times.
Just turn your phone off then.
No, it doesn't have to be off. Just don't text me. Can I not have? How do you put your silence notifications button on? Carlo,
I know there's a way to do it.
Carlo from our social media,
and then go focus. And then it's now on Do Not Disturb. Nothing comes.
And
to
you won't get any text.
That's all you got to do.
That's what I'm.
Do not disturb.
So from now
That's
on,
it.
when you text me at night, just know I'm not paying attention because my silence notifications thing is on.
Well, look, our group chat, you don't respond. Ireland every once in a while responds. Brian just puts a heart on things. Like
I saw it. I liked it.
But so that means you're the only one
to it.
chatting.
Yeah, so I stopped because it's worthless. Laura will talk to me every once in a while.
Laura
but
does.
She
Laura
does.
will chime in.
Yeah, she's pretty
but
good.
For the most part, nobody talks. So what the hell's the point?
Well, I think we should keep the group chat going.
For what?
For,
Let's see. I want to look at it.
For
Like,
daytime.
when was the last time?
When was the last time? It's listed as Mason and Ireland show on my phone. Let's see who's actually contributing anything meaningful.
Laura wrote something on Wednesday at 9:51 a.m. Nobody responded.
What'd she write?
She wrote, "Oh man, maybe Mace is right. Sports Center on Instagram, another gift for Super Bowl champion. It's a Taylor Swift thing." Nobody responded.
I didn't have
that
time
was
to
Wednesday.
read it. I had no time to read that.
Oh, that's the thing where she was making Pop-Tarts, homemade Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, she made homemade Pop-Tarts.
There was one on Tuesday.
Hey, by the way, that could keep her around till June 1st. The homemade Pop-Tarts. I got a fighting chance now.
I came across this nugget. This is one of the reasons.
Mason and I have a bet. I say Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift will still be dating as of June 1st. Mason says they will break up in the next 2 months.
So I came across this.
Actually, the next 3 months.
This note. This is from Travis Kelce's dad. He said this is when he fell in love with Taylor Swift. The dad did.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something very special I noticed about Taylor the first time I met her. We're sitting in the suite. She gets up, and in the front of the room, she gets up to get a drink or something, and she starts picking up all the empty bottles, cans, plates that are scattered around because in the suites, everybody gets stuff and empties it down. I'm thinking, I don't think she got the diva memo. She was actually cleaning up the suite for everybody else.
Well, I've told this story before. She, years ago, had a contest with her listeners, and she invited 10 listeners over to her house.
Yep.
And they all slept over, and she made them cookies.
Wow.
Like she didn't have a staff do it. She did it, and she set up the living room to do a big sleepover.
You could do that. You could do a big listener sleepover.
Yeah. If it were any other day, I would consider
the listener sleepover?
I would consider it. How about a jacuzzi party at your house where all the listeners get in?
No jacuzzi party at my house. That's not happening.
We can do it at my house. I have a bigger jacuzzi than you.
You have a jacuzzi. I've got you've got a hot tub. No, I've got a hot tub. You've got a jacuzzi.
I've got
That's
an
the
in-ground
difference.
thing. Yeah.
See, but because you are okay with it, it doesn't make it fun anymore.
Right, it's not fun.
And trying to get into Masons is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
But you're very nice for allowing everyone in.
Yeah, everybody
anybody
go to
wants
John's
to come
house
on by.
if there's any other night.
Momo does too. She says, "Come on over."
She's all the way out there.
Yeah.
I've never been to Momo's house.
It's a really nice house.
Is it nice?
It is a really nice
I'm waiting
house.
for the invite.
She's in Chatsworth, right?
Is she in Chatsworth?
Yeah.
I think she's out there. I know that you know what Chatsworth is known for.
Is it porn?
Capital of the world?
Yeah, porn.
Adult film industry capital of the world.
Correct. Yeah, they do a lot of that there.
I don't think there's any of that going on at
Van Nuys
Momo's.
is also a good spot,
there
is
you
it
go.
not? Van Nuys?
I think so.
Blueface lives across the street from her.
That's right.
that's
Blueface
right,
lives there.
Good to know.
All right, coming up next, going to do some What's Up, Fool. Brian's got stuff. Bergman's got stuff. Mason Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Every Friday, we're giving away fifth-row tickets to a Lakers game. is made possible by our friends at Dos Hombres. In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. All right, did you know that the Dynasty came out, the documentary on the Patriots?
Have you guys watched any of these?
No, I have not.
I have not watched
They
it.
are
I hate the Patriots.
fantastic.
Okay, I'm glad that you said that.
Fantastic. Not good, great.
Okay.
What channel?
I'm-
What streaming
Apple.
service? Apple.
I'm glad you said that. So, a guy named Michael Hurley, who works for WBZ, it's a CBS station in Boston.
In Boston, right?
In Boston, said that he noticed something in the Dynasty. They took a 2009 Bleacher Report blog and made it look like it was a real newspaper column in the actual documentary. So he's found the original use of the real newspaper and also the original Bleacher Report article. So there's a Bleacher Report article that says, Matt Castle proves Tom Brady is a system quarterback. In the show, they took that article and put it on a newspaper. The real newspaper said Brady or Bledsoe, no answer yet. So they changed the whole
Completely
thing.
changed it, yeah.
Completely changed it for that. Now, does this change your opinion on the Dynasty?
No. Here's the thing that I like
It's
about
all fake.
But here's the thing that I like about it.
You can't say it's all fake based on that one thing.
Apparently, there's more. I just talked about this one situation, but apparently there's more.
I think Jonathan and Robert Kraft are in cahoots with the producers of this thing. And I think Ron Howard is one of the producers. And because the Krafts are behind it, everybody is in it. Everybody. Belichick, McDaniels, Brady. This last episode last week, Randy Moss shows up, and Brady is super salty. Belichick's salty. Everybody is. Rodney Harrison just popped into it. There's one of the guys who works in the Laker PR department, Chris McGean, used to work in PR for the Patriots. And so Chris and I have been talking about how blown away we are at how candid and how good the access is. I can't think of anybody they didn't get. I mean, every time you think, well, that guy would never come on. He had a bad experience in England. There he is. He pops right up. Eric Mangini, Josh McDaniels, they're all in it.
Do they talk about the bad stuff? They
all
talk
of it.
about Deflategate,
the whole thing
Spygate?
was the whole last episode was Spygate. And Belichick, so here's a great line from it. Kraft went to Belichick and goes, "Did you do this?" He goes, "Yeah, we did it." He goes, "How much of an advantage is it giving you on a scale of 1 to 100? And Belichick goes, "Robert, you and I could go sit in the stands right now and look at their signals. All we did was videotape them. Right? We could go sit outside right now at any NFL game and watch these guys signal. We just took pictures of it."
Wait, weren't they at practice and stuff?
No, it was at games.
It was only at games?
Yeah, it was at games.
So he was kind of doing what Michigan does.
Right. And Robert Kraft goes, "So how much of his advantage does that give you?" He goes, "Well, they can see what we're doing. It's like 1%. He goes, "You did all this for 1%? You're a schmuck." He said to Belichick.
Yeah, right.
And Belichick, doesn't understand why this is such a big deal because he said anybody could have done this. And then somebody points out, I think it was Armin Katayan, points out to him, "Yeah, but it says specifically here, after they sent a memo out that said you can't record teams on the sidelines, you guys blatantly did it after the memo came out. You don't understand why that's a problem?" Belichick goes, "Frankly, no, because everybody's doing it out in the open. I think they made a way." So Belichick doesn't think he did anything wrong, but everybody else is killing him.
See, my problem is...
And Brady, by the way, is super candid. He's cussing the whole time. It's great. I think you guys...
Even if I hate the Patriots and I'm so sick of them and hated their run and all that, I'm going to like this?
I think you will, because the Patriots don't necessarily come off great.
And apparently there's also a story that Brandon Lloyd tells, who was a wide receiver for the Patriots at the time, about Brady snapping at Aaron Hernandez in practice, and Brady screaming at practice. It's not actually, you don't know if it's actually at Aaron Hernandez. He's just yelling in practice. So they're
taking some liberties.
They're taking some liberties, making it seem what they want.
I got a homework assignment for all you guys. Watch, even if you're only going to watch one, you don't have to watch these in order. Watch episode 4, the one where Randy Moss shows up. Here's another great story from it. Randy Moss is in a club with his boys.
Okay.
It's like 10 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Right.
Phone rings.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, this is Bill Belichick. Randy says, "Get the F out of here. I'm not an idiot." Hangs up on him. Belichick calls back. "Randy, this is Bill Belichick. We have traded for you. And before you hang up, I need you at the facility at 10 o'clock tomorrow or the trade is off." And Belichick hangs up. And Randy Moss looks at his boys and says, "Boys, we got to get out of here. We're going to Boston right now."
Wow.
And they went up there, and that was the beginning of Moss. And there were games where Brady would say to Moss, "Look, just the Super Bowl you were at."
Yeah, 2018.
People forget when David Tyree made that great catch, and then the Giants.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The Giants go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots still had a couple of plays to tie it. They just needed to get into field goal range to tie it. And he says to Moss, "Look, ignore everything in the playbook. Just run right past all those dudes. I'm going to throw it as far as I can. Go get it." Moss goes, "Got it." Gets into the huddle, and they have a slow-mo of it. And it is off the end of his fingertips, barely. And the Giants hang on. But he almost caught that, or it would have been. That was the undefeated season. They
right, yeah.
But I think you guys will like it. Watch episode 4, and then next week we'll talk about it. But I think you guys will really like
it.
it.
That's a homework assignment.
I'm glad you brought that up, Greg. Greg, you'll like it. It's really good.
And by the way, an artistic license is super common in all documentaries, especially if
that's not a documentary. Then
sure it is. There is artistic license in documentaries.
Then it's not real. The whole point of a documentary is to tell a true story of something.
Well,
that's
by the way,
it's to tell your story. It's not to tell the
Did you
true
guys
story.
know that
That's a pointless then.
When Parcells left the Patriots, he left because he didn't like Kraft? I'd never heard that before.
No.
In the doc, he says, "Well, they took the draft away from me."
Right.
And then I said, and he talking specifically about Kraft, Parcells, who Kraft asked to be in the doc, goes, "The Krafts don't know anything about football. They're not football people. They're going to do the draft, and I'm going to be left out of that? Screw that. I'm not working for them. I'm leaving."
Right.
And he left. Yeah,
Wait,
there's
so
a bunch of stuff in there you'll find out you didn't know.
That's pretty cool. But so you're telling me that documentaries aren't real then?
Well, I'm telling you that a lot of documentaries take artistic license.
Documentaries are about a point of view. And it's whose point of view is it? This is
they're
clearly
skewing you,
Bob Kraft's point of view. Every documentary is point of view.
But this isn't really Kraft friendly. You'll see.
It's not Kraft friendly. It doesn't have him crawling around the floor of a massage parlor, does it?
It hasn't gotten to that point yet.
All right.
Like if I'm going to watch a documentary on someone, I'm assuming that this is
Don't.
someone or something.
Don't.
It's supposed to be like
Don't
okay,
assume that.
Then why do so many people? Oh, I saw this documentary and it's this. Now I changed my opinion on this.
Well,
if it's
the
fake,
best,
then why am I
Greg,
doing
the
it?
The best documentaries are when they give everybody participating the license to tell the truth, and they have done that here. Now, the stuff you're talking about
is like the Jeter doc.
Semantic stuff is. It could be wrong, but I think you'll find this doc is not. It's not rated G. It's an R, and it's good.
Just because they curse, that's not going to make it better for me.
It's honest.
But Greg, so what was the Lakers doc that came out last March?
The Hulu doc by Antoine Fuqua was the one produced by Jeannie and Linda. That was the Lakers' perspective.
Right.
Of it.
See, now I don't believe
They
that
Call
one.
Me Magic was
That's
Magic
Magic's
Johnson's
point of view.
And Adam McKay's thing, Showtime, was Adam McKay's
his
interpretation
point of view.
Jeff Pearlman's book.
Okay, well, that's different though. Winning Time was not saying there was a documentary.
Correct. It was a
story.
A story. It was a narrative story.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
just
appreciated it.
Watch one episode of
I know it's not real.
Dynasty, but I think you'll.
By the way, because that
it's
one
like wrestling.
little wrinkle is there, you don't believe in it?
There was multiple. That was just one story that I told you that I saw. There was other in the comments. There's more of them. Like this, all I know is that if I'm going to watch a documentary and make an opinion based off of that documentary, I want it to be real.
Don't expect it to be real.
There's no point to a documentary then.
They're always about point of view.
Don't watch it, Brian.
I'll watch it. Bergman doesn't believe in documentaries anymore.
Not anymore.
You're done
You
with
just ruined
documentaries. They're about
documentaries
point of view.
I feel like when I was 8 years old and I found out wrestling was fake, I never watched again.
Do you ever read an autobiography?
No.
Full of crap.
It probably is.
Because
Full
it's that
of
person's
garbage.
perspective.
Because it's their point of
it.
view. But if you read a biography, something somebody else wrote about them, that's the one you trust.
Okay, so
don't trust the. It's all about point of view.
Okay.
All right.
Then I'll read the biography.
There you
Did
go.
we just do a
don't read the
Did we do a
autobiography.
one-topic?
No, Brian's got
There was multiple. There was multiple
All right,
things
Brian, what do
in
you
there.
got? Do one more.
What's up, fool?
One for you guys here. So I saw the Phillies are going to get rid of their dollar dog and go to buy one, get one for their promotional nights only because the dollar dog, people were throwing hot dogs in the stands. So my question here is, have you guys ever had a food fight?
A food fight?
Oh, I was in a fraternity at UCLA. It would literally, if somebody threw even a roll, like if you did something to me, like you just beat me in basketball and I would take a roll and throw it across the table and hit you, everybody would fly out of the chairs because they knew what was coming next.
Yeah.
And because you had a pledge class, the pledges would all have to clean it up.
The pledges would have to clean it up.
I had to clean up
That's
like
right.
after like 3 or 4 food fights. And it was all, they're great, Brian. They are really fun. But I wouldn't recommend doing it if you don't live in a fraternity.
No. In a fraternity house, anything goes. You're listening to KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma brand station. All right. Is that?
And
is
by
that
the
what
way,
we got?
the hot dog thing was interesting because they said we want to make it more palatable to all consumers. And basically, they're doing it because they can make more money. You know,
Wait, buy
It's a
one, get
BOGO.
one free.
Right.
Isn't it kind of a wash?
So it's buy 2 for $5. So it's $2.50 per.
and it used to be buy as many hot dogs as you want for
a
$1.
dollar.
No limit. Yeah.
No limit.
So imagine you get 10 hot dogs.
It's the same reason
$25.
they finally eliminated dime beer nights. It just got too
We
hard
had
to
we had
control.
dime beer night at the Toledo Mud Hens. I'm telling you, that was a raucous place. Eventually they did it for a bunch of years, and eventually they said sales cut off after the second inning. Dime beer sales end at the second inning.
Yeah, but it's also in Philly, so Philly fans are crazy, and so now that they're not getting their dollar hot dogs, they're going to just throw their free one at this time. They're going to be upset and throw the $2.50 one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to stop
It's
the
not gonna stop.
dogs flying.
No,
absolutely
it
not.
won't. It's still such a. By the way, that's a really good deal. How much is a dog at Dodger Stadium?
Oh, like $75.
$9 something?
Yeah, something like that.
A Dodger dog
You
is
have to
like
pay for the
$9,
ketchup, you
something
have
like
to pay
that.
for the onions,
Yeah,
you have
they
to pay
charge you
for
for
the-
extra for relish. I mean, it's
Right.
crazy
Napkins.
over there. Yeah.
Oh, no, 2 napkins. Whew.
Yeah,
Now it's
napkins
$35.
lights out. All right, there you have that. There's your What's Up, Fool. Coming up next for you, John, they're finally going to do away with the stupidest thing in the NFL. Do you know what it is?
I have a feeling.
Explain it next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Sports podcast in Los Angeles, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be using my destiny.
The reason I play this song is that, Ireland, you sent a note today that you think this is a stupid song, they shouldn't do it at the Oscars, that Ryan Gosling shouldn't get up and sing and dance.
Has everyone here seen the Barbie movie?
I just saw it last week.
Parker.
Oh, look, Parker's waving the big Barbie.
Mojo Dojo Casa House towel.
Nice.
Here's the thing.
It was weird.
This was the worst song in the movie. Doesn't have anything to do with Barbie. It's Ryan Gosling singing I'm Just Ken.
Well, it's about Ken. Ken's a big part of the movie.
And Ryan Gosling can't sing.
What do you mean? He was in La La Land. He did the entire musical.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling can't sing.
He can't. What do you think? He got nominated for Best Actor for a musical.
And if he sings this during the Oscars, I think it's going to be a massive embarrassment. Am I the only one that thinks this?
Yes.
Greg?
Absolutely.
Should you want Ryan Gosling to sing I'm Just Ken at the Oscars?
There's two different things here. Should it have been nominated as Best Song?
Hell no.
Probably not. But if you're going to do it, it should be Ryan Gosling.
John, here's the thing. I'm going to lecture you on this.
Oh, no.
The Oscars are an entertainment product.
Yeah. What's entertaining about Ryan Gosling singing I'm Just Ken?
Because we're already talking about it, and imagine how much it's going to be talked about after it actually happens.
Would you have had Russell Crowe sing from Les Miserables, that song
if he had been nominated? Absolutely, if he'd been nominated.
What song should have been nominated?
Which one?
What song? Yeah, I'm asking.
Well, now they nominate like 10 of them, right?
No, 5.
No, from
the one that's going to win is the other song from Barbie, the really super sad one from Billie Eilish. That's the one that's going to win.
Okay.
She's going to already have 2 Oscars and 11 Grammys or all that stuff.
And she has blue hair.
Yeah, it just seems very strange that a song about Ken, which is the exact opposite of the movie,
well, how about
what
this?
it's thought about, is up for an Oscar, and so is he.
Right, and she isn't.
Right.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Right. And by the
movie
way,
about female empowerment doesn't nominate the female.
Right.
But they do the male.
The director got nominated either.
She got nominated for script. She did not get nominated for Best Director, Greta Gerwig. It's like the nominations did exactly the point that the movie was trying to make. Ken got nominated. Barbie did not. But I think this will be one of the highlights of the night.
Yeah.
And don't say Ryan Gosling can't sing. Did you not see La La Land?
I did. I liked
He was
La
great.
La Land. But
he was great.
He didn't. He didn't sing
He
a
sang
ton of
and
songs.
danced. He was like from Disney Factory.
Right. He was one of the Musketeers.
Right.
With Timberlake and Christina
All
Aguilera
those guys, yeah.
and Britney Spears.
They all sang.
And one more from NSYNC. JC Chazé was in there with those guys.
JT was in there. JT.
Yeah.
Justin
Timberlake and Chazé met doing that.
Yeah.
And Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were in there too.
Yeah. All right. So one of my pet peeves for a very long time is the NFL has all the technology in the world. And at the most critical moments, 2 old guys with sticks trot out onto the field to measure whether or not it's a first down. Now, my God, every single football has got a chip in it. Why do they actually need 2 old guys with sticks?
Okay.
I shouldn't say old. Because
Most
I'm
of the
sure
time
some
they
of them
are.
are. Yeah, a lot of them are older.
But let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you know the new way they're going to do it?
Yeah, it's like laser technology.
Okay. Is it going to add more time to the measurement? Because if it is, I'm for the sticks.
Lasers are very fast.
Anything that adds more, it drives me crazy during NBA games, the length of these replays. We had one last night where, I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was Denny Avila. Took LeBron, drove into the lane, and threw his left arm almost like a punch and knocked LeBron over.
Yeah.
And they call it a block on LeBron. So the Lakers review it. I see the review one time. I go, this is getting overturned.
Right.
It took them 6 minutes.
I know. It's a joke.
I mean,
it's a joke.
It's just,
the NBA is just, this is malpractice on the part of Adam Silver. You've got to eliminate replay. It is especially at the most exciting moments of the game. When the drama is at its peak, they're stopping down for 5 or 6 minutes to make a call that's obvious and in the end may or may not have an impact on the game. Just call on the floor. Call on the floor. Just go with the call on the floor. And so, by the way, the way the NFL is going to do it, it's laser-tested optical tracking. Now, that sounds a lot faster
So they
than...
just put the ball down and they zap it with a laser and it tells you whether or not it made a first down.
A lot different than
As long as it doesn't add more time to the measurement, I'm okay with it.
But much better than Ed and Mark with a metal chain running out to the middle of the field.
No, Ed and Mark are doing a good job. As long I'm all about keeping the thing moving.
Yeah, let's move.
Keep the
That's
product
why,
moving.
Can we not, as a sports community, demand a stop to sports replay? It's not effective anywhere.
You're 100% right.
Like,
I used to fight you on this. I'm done fighting you on it.
Bergman, is there any reason for replay in any sport at this point?
No, it's annoying. It's any time that you get it down to the granular level, you can find whatever you want. Super slow-mo, you can see whatever you want to see.
Right.
It's crazy how it is. Remember there was a play for the Lakers, and Pat Bev, when he was on the Clippers, knocked a ball off LeBron's hands, and they called it on LeBron going out because it's slowly...
But grazed his fingertips on the way.
And we stopped the game for 5 minutes.
Anybody that had ever played basketball knows that was not off of LeBron.
Imagine going to a concert or a movie, and right in the middle of it, they go, hey, we need to review that last scene. We think we saw something that might be a little off.
Yes.
And they shut the movie down for 5 minutes and then come back. They go, okay, no changes. Let's keep the movie going.
Yeah.
It's asinine.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing.
Hey, I wanted to mention.
Oh, by the way, before you mention this,
go ahead.
Greg, in now less than
That's
20
exactly
minutes.
what I was going to mention.
We're giving away Fifth Row Friday.
Do we have a question?
We'll come up with
Do
one.
we have a question?
But Greg,
BB Fifth Row Fridays.
Do we know what game this is for?
Yeah, it's for Sacramento.
Sacramento on the 6th.
Good game.
On March the 6th.
Two All-NBA players, De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, along with LeBron and AD on our side. That'll be fun.
You got to be
It's next Wednesday.
Be able to answer 5 questions correctly, one from each day this week, including one from today that we will try to figure out. Last week, I felt so bad for the guy. He got 4 out of 5 and
he had it.
He got a brain freeze on the last one, and
he had it too.
Yeah, he called back afterwards and goes, Janessa! It was Janessa!
The answer was Janessa.
Poor guy.
All right, coming up next, would you take Russell Wilson at the minimum NFL salary? We'll do that.
Well, there's a caveat to that, too.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, if you are hiring, you got to use ZipRecruiter. Go to this website right now. You can try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter uses its powerful matching technology to quickly and find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. The guy who invented ZipRecruiter is a guy I know. His name is Ian Siegel, and he puts it this way. We don't leave anything to chance. You can check out the people that ZipRecruiter sends you, and if you really like one or two, you can personally invite them to apply with one click. So speed up your hiring process. See why 3.8 million businesses have come to ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 companies, 4 out of 5 who use ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. Why wouldn't you use ZipRecruiter? Try that website today, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Every Friday, we're giving away It's an Otto and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
Hey, this is the song that's going to win. It's one of those Billie Eilish ones.
As long as that dumb "I'm Just Ken" doesn't win.
It's not going to win. It's just going to be funny.
When was this in the movie?
It's like the post game. What, the post game?
Post credits?
Was it Beto
Barbie
Duran? Was he
post-game
doing it?
No, Sliwa
Travis
had his
and-
own Barbie post game.
So credits is what you were trying to say.
Yeah, it's the credits, exactly.
Thank you.
Now, is anybody with me on going to see Dune 2 this weekend?
No, zero chance.
Zero chance.
I haven't seen the first one.
You haven't seen the first? No, Bergman?
I haven't seen
Wait,
it.
wasn't the first one like 30 years ago?
No, there was one 30 years ago.
With Kyle MacLachlan,
but
right?
3 years ago, there was Dune 1.
That was Chalamet?
That was Chalamet.
Okay.
And Zendaya. And now Dune 2's coming out. And it is the best reviewed movie, it's being said, of all time, and is the greatest science fiction movie of all time. That's what Christopher Nolan says, and Christopher Nolan knows his way around a science fiction movie. So it's definitely worth seeing. I went back and watched the first one the other night in the massage chair with the ears. You still haven't done the ears.
No.
Oh, my God. The ears are the best.
Okay. I may try it tonight.
Bluetooth speakers, one on each side of your, one by each ear, which is awesome.
But you don't even have to wear headphones.
No, you don't have to wear headphones. You're like totally closed in. It's really, really cool. All right, so Ireland, there is...
This is a story that Mike Florio is putting out there, but it's super interesting.
Now, we know Russell Wilson is ultimately going to be cut at some point by the Denver Broncos.
Because he makes too much money.
Makes too much money. Now, Wilson says that if you guarantee him a starting job...
This is according to Florio.
He will come and play for you for the minimum. Now,
I think it's $1.2 million.
$1.2 million. Now, to me, that is an unbelievable deal for somebody. And I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan,
Right.
but for the minimum,
I'm with you, Greg. If you don't have a quarterback, like let's throw out the Steelers for example.
Sure,
they're trying to upgrade from Kenny Pickett. You can get Russell Wilson for $1.2 million. All you have to do is start him in training camp, and if he flops in training camp, you don't have to.
Well,
keep
is that
going.
true? You don't have to guarantee him the starter job for
You have
the
to
year?
guarantee him the starting job in training camp. It's his to lose. In other words.
Why wouldn't Atlanta do that? Why wouldn't the Raiders do that?
Well, if
I think they all should.
Just in training camp, if it's not for the regular season, then
Well, I think
cool.
that it would be
But
bad
it's
faith, but that'd be okay. I mean, I think you say if you come in, we'll list you as QB1, and you'll be our starter until you screw up.
Well, he's going to screw up.
Can I just point out,
last
last year he threw for 26 touchdowns versus 8 picks.
I mean, did you?
And he didn't play the last two games.
And there was a stretch in which they were 6-1.
Yeah, this is when you're like the stats and what he is in the game are two separate things. Just because he's not throwing picks doesn't mean he was good.
26 touchdowns, 8 picks
Yeah,
tells me
he was
more
not
effective than not, especially when he got benched for the last two games because they didn't want to guarantee 20-25.
Yeah, Greg, let me just throw out a handful of teams, okay?
Sure.
New England.
I mean, for 1.2, yeah, he's better than Bailey Zappi.
Okay, Pittsburgh.
I would, Mason Rudolph maybe better, but yeah.
Atlanta.
Sure. Atlanta.
Raiders.
I mean, he's better than Aiden O'Connell, but they're going to
Right.
draft somebody. I'd rather have a rookie than Russell Wilson.
But why?
Because he's not
For
good.
1.2, if you were paying Russell Wilson $38 million like the Broncos were, I would
That
agree
makes
with you. But
I would pay him 1.2 to fight for the job, not to have
Well,
automatically the starter.
according to Florio, it's you're
Starter.
willing to make him the starter.
Yeah, I'm not willing to make him the
For
starter.
$1.2 million.
Yeah, but I'm not willing to make him a
I
starter.
would. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't do this if I was the Rams, but I would do
No.
this if I was Pittsburgh or New England
If
or
you're
Atlanta. Well, I mean, I think Mason's point is he's not going to lose you games.
I wouldn't.
He's not
disagree with that.
He's a middle of the pack. Where would you say? I think he's
End of
a
the pack.
No. I think Greg, if you list
It's not
them
the guy
all-
you think of.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. I think he would come in right around 16, which is dead even.
I think that's
16,
a
no.
dead middle of the pack.
I don't agree with that. Let's see. And
Last year, number 21.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Statistically,
Yeah, but
yes,
that doesn't
quarterback
mean
rating.
you would necessarily. I mean, I would rather have him than some of those guys that finished ahead of him.
You're thinking of Russell Wilson when he was in Seattle and he was playing all well. He's not that guy anymore.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, well, we saw it. in Denver. He wasn't good.
But he wasn't bad. That's our
wasn't
point.
bad.
He was 21st out of 32.
What are the Raiders going to do at quarterback this year?
Grab it. They're going to try and grab somebody in the draft.
But
And
they don't have.
I would rather have Aiden O'Connell go out there and improve than have Russell Wilson.
But here's the thing: after Caleb and Drake May and Jaden Daniels, probably Jaden Daniels 2 and Drake May 3. Who exactly are you going to get?
I mean, you can find someone better than. I mean, first of all, there's also from Washington.
Penix is not projected. You can get him. He's not even projected as a first rounder.
I would probably try him out over.
Yeah, I see. I don't think you're spending that pick on Michael Penix Jr.
You can go out and you can get Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, I think, is going back to Minnesota.
Greg, would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Russell Wilson?
Actually, after he played last year, I would rather have Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield actually had a very good year.
All right, I'd rather have Russell Wilson. Sam Howell or Russell Wilson?
No, Sam Howell's terrible.
Right?
Yeah, Russell
But you
Wilson.
just said you wouldn't sign him.
Probably.
Now, here's
Russell
a hard
Wilson
one.
in that sense.
Here's a hard one. Derek Carr or Russell Wilson?
He's already been in Vegas. I don't need him there again.
Right.
You're talking about
saying,
but in
if
general,
the Saints brought in Russell Wilson.
No,
who would
I don't
you
think they
rather
would.
have?
I would rather have Derek Carr.
You would rather have Derek
Carr than Russell Wilson.
To Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Bryce Young or Russell Wilson?
Oh my God,
I
Russell
think,
Wilson.
No. Bryce Young.
Oh.
He's young. He wasn't terrible. He's
Bryce
gonna get
Young
better.
is bust with a capital B.
No, I don't think he's bust with a capital B at all.
Capital U also.
Yeah,
capital
there's at
B
least
and a
10
capital
teams
U.
that I would
Bust.
bring him in.
Yeah.
No.
Not all 4 capitals, but capital B, capital U, for sure. I don't have any faith in Bryce Young ever being a big time
I
quarterback.
like Bryce Young, always have, but he's got to prove it.
Yeah,
he was a rookie. You're saying a
I
rookie
saw
is
C.J.
done.
Stroud do what C.J. Stroud did as a rookie.
They're 2 different quarterbacks. There's
Correct,
most
they
quarterbacks
are.
take
All right,
time
here's a
to
hard one,
develop.
Greg.
One did.
Daniel Jones or Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
I would actually say Daniel Jones.
Oh, my God.
He has the arm. He just gets hurt. When he's healthy with a good line, he would be better than
Come
Russell Wilson.
Come on, Bergman. Let's ride.
No.
Let's ride.
I hate this let's ride guy.
Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. His Wolverine blood.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's an odd dude.
High fives when he's walking out of the...
What's interesting about him is his teammates never have anything good to say about him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's ruin the locker room, too, at the same time.
Right? I mean, isn't that...
What are we talking about
Isn't that
here?
one of the big things? His teammates never have good stuff to say about him.
So
I think that suggests to me that maybe he's not the
Give
guy
me
you want.
Sam Howell. That's it. I'm sold. Give me Sam Howell.
Sam Howell it is. I don't know what the Raiders are going to do with the quarterback spot.
I think I think they're going to try and trade up and try and get somebody. That's my guess.
It's going to
Or
be tough to get
trade
into
for,
those top
Justin
3.
Fields. I would love to get Justin Fields.
That's the one. If the Raiders traded for Justin Fields,
I'd be happy.
That is
Yeah.
I believe Justin Fields is a franchise quarterback who had too many offensive coordinators in Chicago.
Either trade for Justin Fields or overpay and trade for the number 1 pick.
Right.
And take Caleb.
Yeah, but then you're talking about 3 number 1s.
Who cares? I go to the less neat school.
Right, and by the way, I don't think the Bears will trade Caleb Williams. I think they'd be fools to trade Caleb Williams.
Well, a lot of people think they should keep Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think that's...
I just don't know if they're one of
If
them.
they trade down to 4 and get Marvin Harrison Jr., they're set. At
Yeah,
wide receiver
they are
and
taking Caleb
quarterback.
Williams. I know it's fun to say, oh, okay, is it going to be Caleb? Is it going to be Jaden? Is it going to be...
No,
it's Caleb.
Yeah, it's Caleb.
It's Caleb. He's the guy.
All right.
He's the next-gen Pat Mahomes.
Bergman, open the phones. It is time for Fifth Row Friday.
Did we get a question?
I'm looking at the questions.
I'm looking at them.
They're tough.
They're hard.
Mm-hmm.
I will be shocked if the first person gets it. The first person almost got it last week.
Yeah.
He had it, really.
We underestimate people all the time. These are tough questions, but, man, we've got some hardcore listeners who are out there every single day. They're taking notes, all that stuff. That means right now, let's do it. Now, if you've not been listening all week, don't even call.
Don't call. You won't win.
You got no chance. But if you have been listening all week, 877-710-ESPN. That's 877-710-ESPN. Answer all 5 questions correctly, and you will win a pair of tickets in the 5th row at Lakers Sacramento on March the 6th. 877-710-ESPN. Only if you've been paying very close attention. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Coming up next at 4 p.m.
It's the LA Afternoon
All right, here we go. It is Fifth Row Fridays. Pair of fifth row seats to see Lakers Sacramento at Crypto.com Arena on March the 6th. If you can answer correctly, 5 questions, one from each day this week, including today. Lines are lit up, Ireland.
They are, and you have to answer these all 5 correct in order, and then you win the tickets. Where do you want to start, Mace?
Let us start with let's start with Junior in L.A. Junior, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, Junior, here we go. Question 1. Who was the guest that Mason most wanted Greg to get for our show? He talked about it on Monday. Who did Mason want Greg to get?
Larry David?
No,
that was me. I'm the one who suggested get Larry David.
I mentioned this like 3 times.
Okay.
Let's try Rudy in Pomona. Rudy, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, Rudy. Who was the guest that Mason wanted Greg to book on the show? We talked
Tim
about
Cook?
who?
Tim Cook?
Correct.
Bingo, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Number 2. We told a story about a $3.75 million rookie card on Tuesday. Whose card was it?
What's that rookie card?
Need an answer. 5, 4, 3.
LeBron? No.
No, not LeBron. Sorry.
This was a pretty big story, too.
Yeah.
We did a good 15 minutes on this. Let's try Jose in L.A. Jose, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys.
Okay, go ahead, Mace.
Who was the guest that I most wanted on the show this week? I tried to book him through Greg.
Tim Cook.
Tim
Okay,
Cook, yes.
who told a story about...
We told
a story about a $3.75 million rookie card. Whose card was it?
I think it was Mike Trout.
No.
Oh, we're
Okay, well,
scuffling this
we've
week.
had 3, so we can give a hint.
Right? We're not allowed to give
we
hints
can't
on
have
this one,
hints
John.
because you didn't give hints.
It's against the contest rules.
Let's go.
It's against the contest
Yep.
rules. And you know how those are.
Yeah.
Jonathan in Santa Clarita. Jonathan, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
Hey, Jonathan, who was the guest that Mason most wanted Greg to get?
Tim Cook.
We told a story about a $3.75 million rookie card. Whose card was it?
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on to something. All right, Jonathan. What would Michael Thompson's professional wrestler name be had they let him wrestle?
The Bahama Mama.
Oh, no.
So close. So close.
Right there.
All right, we'll keep going.
Tough. All right, Drew in L.A., good afternoon. Drew? Hey, there you are.
I was gonna go Bahama Mama too, man. I can't.
Okay, you're out.
Sorry.
All right, keep going.
Let's go to John in Southgate. John, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys.
All right, John, who was the guest that Mason most wanted Greg to get?
Tim Cook.
Who told the story? We told a story about a $3.75 million rookie card. Whose card was it?
The great one, Wayne Gretzky.
All right, what would Michael Thompson's professional wrestler name be?
Bahama Boom.
Say the second word again, please.
Bahama Boom.
Oh, you're so close. I'm sorry.
Everybody's right there.
You're so close. Okay, we'll keep it going.
Okay, let's go to Eric in Laguna Hills. Eric, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Eric, who was the guest Mason most wanted Greg to get?
Tim Cook.
$3.75 million rookie card. Whose card was it?
Wayne Gretzky.
What would Michael Thompson's professional wrestler name be?
The Bahama Bomber.
Yeah, that's it. The Bahama Bomber. All right, let's bring it home.
Okay. Michael Thompson, I'm thinking of how to phrase this question. Michael Thompson says, it's easy to settle down with someone unless you are a what?
An athlete.
No. I guess these are tough.
Yeah, these are probably the hardest ones we've ever done.
Okay. Let's go to John. By the way, we're going to keep going until somebody gets this. Let's go to John and Torrance. John, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
John, who was the guest Mason most wanted Greg to book?
Tim Cook.
$3.75 million rookie card.
Wayne Gretzky.
What would Michael's professional wrestler name be?
The Bahama Bomber.
Michael Thompson says, easy to settle down unless you are a what?
Player?
What'd you say?
Player?
No.
It's 2 words.
It's 2 words, yeah.
Yeah.
2 words. I was surprised this word didn't get dumped by Bergman, but
no,
it stayed.
Yeah, he wouldn't dump this.
Okay, Mike in Glendora. Mike, you're on 710. What was the guest I most wanted on the show?
Tim Cook.
We told a story about a $3.75 million rookie card. Whose card was it?
Wayne Gretzky.
Yes. What would Michael Thompson's wrestling name be?
Bahama Bomber.
Michael Thompson says it would be easy to settle down unless you are a what?
2 words.
No. Okay, we're going to start with that.
Okay.
Start with that. I don't know. That guy I can't get rid of for some reason. So let's just do this. Let's go to Tom in Huntington Beach. Tom, good afternoon. Michael Thompson says it'd be easy to settle down unless you're one of these.
A prima donna.
No.
Keep going.
Let's go to Jeff in Long Beach. Jeff, easy to settle down unless you're one of these.
Game player.
No. We said this multiple times.
We had a big laugh out of it. Pepe made a joke about it.
If you don't know it, don't call.
Yeah.
Go to Andrew in L.A. Andrew, easy to settle down unless you're one of these.
A horn dog.
There it is, Andrew. Okay, now let's get cooking. Who was the guest that Mason most wanted Greg to get?
Apple CEO Tim Cook.
$3.75 million rookie card.
Wayne Gretzky.
What would Michael's professional wrestler name be?
The Bahama Bomber.
Okay, now this is it. This is for the tickets. Bring this home, Andrew. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We told a story about Adam Sandler not walking up to Paul McCartney.
Hang on a second. Bergman?
So we need, because of rules, what would Michael Thompson's professional wrestler name be? You have to say it right.
Bahama Bomber.
Okay.
Thank you.
What did you think he said?
Bama?
He thought he said something else.
All
Okay.
right, no, you got it. We told a story about Adam Sandler not walking up to Paul McCartney. Whose podcast did he tell that story on?
Whose podcast did Adam Sandler tell the podcast story on?
Yes.
Correct. We said it twice.
Oh, I don't know.
Too bad.
We took the tougher angle on that one.
You did. Yeah, it's fine. Come on.
Okay. Greg's like, okay, come on. Carlos in Buena Park. Carlos, we're going to start at the end, and then we'll go back to the beginning.
Carlos, we told a story about Adam Sandler not walking up to Paul McCartney. Whose podcast did he tell that story on?
Conan O'Brien?
Yes. All right, now, if you get these 4, you win it. Here we go. Who was the guest that Mason most wanted Greg to get?
Tim Cook.
$3.75 million rookie card.
Wayne Gretzky.
What would Michael's professional wrestler name be?
The Bahama Bomber.
Michael Thompson says easy to settle down unless you're one of these.
Horn dog.
There it is, man. Carlos, you win
Congrats. Only took 35 people.
There was a lot of people.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
These were hard.
These were tough.
These were tough. Hey, Carlos, who are you going to take with you?
Hey, I'm going to take my daughter for the first time to see LeBron James.
Oh, I love it.
That is so
Love
great,
it.
man.
All right, man. Hang on. Greg's going to get some info from
Thanks,
you, okay?
Carlos.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks to everybody who tried. All of you. That's nice that all of you tried. Who would have thought that the winning answer today would be horn dog?
Never know.
You never know on this show.
Never know in this game.
All right, Game of Games is coming up next. I have won March. I've won February. I now intend to win March, Ireland.
I like it. Stake your claim.
We will do that coming up next. It's Bergman Game Today. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
On the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. It is Game of Games time, and it is Bergman's game today. Brand new month. I am coming off a victory in the month of February. I'm on a roll.
Outright victory. And so
Yes.
this is the first day of March. DeAndre Hawkins from our afternoon show is going to
Scott
play.
Kaplan.
Oh, and
where's
Cappy.
Cap?
I'm in the house.
South.
South. Okay. Hi, Cap.
Hi, guys.
All right, here we go. So 5 players. Brian, DeAndre, Mason, Ireland, Kaplan. Greg, what do you got?
All right, so today is the first day of March, so I have some facts about March.
Okay.
I'm going the way of you, Mason, and I'm making it just 2 options.
Good, I like that.
Trying to make it as easy as possible in that sense.
Simple, yes.
So, one of a saying is a part of a website. A saying about March is what? Is it A, in like a lamb, out like a lion, or B, in like a lion, out like a lamb? Mason.
I will say in like a lion.
In like a lion. John.
It is in like a lion, out with a lamb.
Okay, Brian.
In like a lamb.
Okay.
Like a lamb.
All right, you're going the other way.
In like a lion.
Cap.
I'm going the first one.
The in like a lamb?
I guess so.
It's in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Yes. Okay, so
Mace,
DeAndre,
John, DeAndre,
Mason, Ireland got it.
Correct.
Okay.
Number 2. The Day of the Dude is in March in honor of Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
It is a day to take it easy. Is it March 11th or March 6th? John.
I'm going to say March 6th.
Okay. Brian.
Let's go March 6th.
Okay. DeAndre.
11th.
Okay. Cap. Oh.
He said 11, I
said
believe.
He said 11.
But we're about to lose
Mace.
him.
I'm going to say 6.
It is 6th.
Yeah.
So who got that? It was Mace,
Damn.
Mason,
Brian.
DeAndre, and
Ireland, Brian.
Oh, wait, no. DeAndre did not get that.
I didn't get it wrong.
All right, so the score right now is Mason 2, Ireland 2, DeAndre 1, Brian 1, Cap zip.
Yes.
Damn it.
Okay.
Okay, so before 150 BC, the Roman calendar actually had March as the first day of the year. So Happy New Year. What month did the calendar end? Was it in December or was it in January? Brian?
January.
Okay, DeAndre?
January.
Okay, Kaplan?
December.
Mason?
December.
John?
January.
It is December. It was actually 10 months. And by the way, January and February were just known as winter.
Oh, just when they didn't even have
Winter is
months.
It was a 10 month. And by the way, December means 10.
It is.
was
It's
10
like
months.
Game of Thrones. Winter is coming.
Yeah. All right, Mason's got the lead 3, Ireland has 2, everybody else has 1.
Yes. Number 4, and I have 8 of these.
Okay.
March is actually the highest month for what pregnancy prevention method? Is it your tubes being tied or a vasectomy? And we'll start with DeAndre.
Vasectomy.
Okay. Cap.
Yes, I know this is a fact. It is a vasectomy.
Okay. Mace.
It is a vasectomy.
John.
Kaplan seemed assured of himself. I'm going the other way. Tubes tied.
Okay, Brian.
I'm with John. Tubes tied.
You should have gone with Cappy.
Absolutely. It's famous. First 2 days of the NCAA tournaments because you plop on your couch. It's not a bad time to get a vasectomy.
And then you throw peas
Mason
on your
has-
peas.
And sit on the couch.
Mason has 4. We gave him some confidence, and now he's running away with stuff.
Right, let's go. Let's
So
roll.
you have 3. You have 2, right, John?
That's
I have 2, DeAndre has 2, Cap has 2, and Brian has 1.
Yes. All right. So number 5.
Brian.
What is March named for? War or peace? And we'll start with Cap.
Peace.
Okay. Mace.
War.
John.
It better be peace. I'm going
Brian.
peace.
I'm gonna go war.
And DeAndre.
Peace.
It is war.
Yeah. Mason's going to win this thing easy.
It's 5-2. All right, there's only 3 left, so Mason has to go first.
Yeah.
Number 6. Beware the Ides of March is about Julius Caesar being stabbed to death at the theater of Pompeii. What now sits on the spot where he died? Is it an endangered Corsican hare reserve or a no-kill couch shelter?
Pick one, Mace.
So weird. I'll say the reserve.
Okay, John.
DeAndre and I have to go the other one.
You all have to go the other one. So
Uh,
you're all going with
Cat.
The no-kill
No-kill.
cat
Yeah.
sanctuary.
Yeah.
It's the no-kill cat sanctuary.
Still alive.
Still alive. Cappy has 4.
Oh, Cappy's in it. Okay.
Oh, Brian, you're out.
No,
Sorry.
no. It's 3. Everybody has 3. Cappy has 4. And
I only had Brian with 2, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
Stay in, Brian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Either
Thank
way.
you.
Number 7. March 21st in history was the day what social media platform was invented? Twitter or Facebook, Mace?
Facebook.
And so you also have to go opposite. No,
Yep.
Cap does not have to go opposite because he's one back.
Yeah,
so do you want to go opposite? Or go?
DeAndre, Brian, and I are all going Twitter.
Yes.
What do you want to do, Cap?
For the heck of it, I'll go Facebook.
Oh, it was Twitter. So
Everybody's
alive. You could have tied it up, Cap.
I could have tied it up.
So wait a minute. This is interesting now. Mason has 5 and everybody else has 4.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Oh, God.
Well, this would be a Clipper-esque
Oh, my
tank
God.
job.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Clippers.
It'd be
And
amazing.
Brian would be LeBron.
Here,
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
March 5th in some places starts a 12-day drinking regimen to get your body prepared for St. Paddy's Day on March 17th. What do they call March 5th? Is it Liver Awareness Day or Cinco de Marcho?
All right, Mace.
Cinco de Marcho?
All right, and everybody else has to go Liver Awareness Day.
Right. Liver awareness.
Liver Awareness Day. It is Cinco de Marcho.
Almost gacked it.
Oh, you was close. Do you want the tiebreaker just for fun?
Sure,
All right.
yeah.
We talked about the vasectomies going up in March due to the NCAA tournament. What percentage do appointments go up by? Just the closest, Mace.
Okay. I will say they go up by 36%.
36%, John.
17%.
17%, Brian.
7%.
DeAndre.
25.
25. And Cappy.
37.
37.
It's exactly what I said, but okay.
No, you said 36.
He said
Oh, okay.
36.
Yeah.
He was right to do it. It's 50%.
50%?
It goes up by 50% in March.
Jeez.
for
Wow.
vasectomies. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you had one, John?
No.
No.
I want one.
Cappy, have you had one?
So I'm glad we're having this conversation. The answer is yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have. Mace, have you had one?
I have. There's really no call for it. There's just no
Why?
need.
Why not? Why?
He's going to
You
get
know-
Juan pregnant.
The dangers
Right.
of pregnancy do not exist for me. No.
Well, wait a second. Hold on. That's not necessarily true.
Sure it is.
Why?
No,
How is
no.
it not true?
I'm in a monogamous relationship with an adult male human being. There is no chance of pregnancy.
That doesn't. Hey, hold on a second here. You have said to us many times on the air before that there was another time in your life where you slept with ladies.
Sure, I did.
Okay.
When I was
That
younger,
doesn't- Doesn't mean you won't sleep with a lady
No,
another
it
time
does.
in
It
your
means
life.
I will not sleep. Correct.
You
I am
cannot
with
guarantee
one.
that
I
today.
am with one person. Period.
Right. But you never know. You might wake up one day and be like, you know what? I think she's hot. I want to do it with her.
I'm not going to get. I'm not going to
Mason's
get.
an absolutist.
Yeah.
He'll never admit that.
I'm not going to
really?
get
Yeah.
snipped just in the event that I someday do. It's not going to happen. Now, why'd you get snipped?
Well, why do you think? I already had 4 kids.
Right now, is it painful?
Not at all. But I will tell you this. So I had my 3rd kid, right?
Yeah.
And I decided, all right, I'm getting a vasectomy. Mm-hmm. So I go see this urologist,
Yep.
and they do whatever pre-stuff they have to do, right? And then I called. This is like a week or so later. I called. I don't know. I had a question or something, and the lady at the front desk, she goes, "Oh, are you the guy on the radio that's talking about getting a vasectomy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And all of a sudden, I didn't feel good about it. Something just seemed off. Like she was too deep into my business. So I canceled the vasectomy. Then impregnated my ex-wife for the 4th time.
Wow.
And so I was like, oh, no, now we're having another one, which thank God we did, obviously. But then as soon as the 4th one was healthy and everything, I was like, that's it, done. Snip, snip.
All right.
Snip.
So there's 2 things that story reminded me of. Here's the first one. Do you know who announced today he's having his 4th kid?
Who dat?
Do any of you guys know this?
No.
Steph Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry.
Aisha's pregnant with their 4th child. That's number 1. The number 2 captain, you remind me of my buddy Jordan from college. He gets married, and they have 3 boys, and they decide they don't want to have any more kids. So, and lo and behold, his wife gets pregnant. So number 4 is on the way. It's another boy. He has to be delivered via C-section.
Okay.
So while they're in the delivery, the doctor says, while I'm down here, he says to the wife, do you want me to tie your tubes? You guys are done having kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they both said, yes, please do that. That's awesome. And Jordan out loud says, oh my gosh, this is great. I had an appointment next week to get snipped. And she looks right at him. His wife looks right at him and goes, you are not canceling that appointment. We need to be double protected. And so now
there you go. Yep.
Her tubes are tied and he's snipped.
No chance there.
And that was the end. All those kids are grown now.
Good
that
for
was
them.
the way they finally
By the way,
closed
I'm pretty
door.
sure that Brenda is actually going under today
Going under
to have her baby.
is today the day?
Today's the day.
I thought she already had it.
She has not had
And
it.
I've heard the name floating around. What is the name?
I don't think
I heard
I
it-
don't think he wanted to say it.
I heard it on
he
the
has.
Travis Sliwa.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Why has Jorge been out up till now?
Because he's on leave. Because it could have happened at any point.
Oh,
any
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And normally they wait until the baby's born.
Yeah, but she was like dilating, so she was
Okay,
taking him back.
So
How long does a guy get for leave now? Maternity leave.
Paternity.
You get
paternity.
2 months, and he's
8 weeks.
8 weeks. Yep.
Okay.
So he's taking a month, and then I think he might take another one later.
8 weeks paid leave. I gotta get Lisa pregnant.
Oh man, I gotta get a baby.
Doesn't work for you.
I gotta get one.
Mace?
Yeah.
See, Mace? I told you.
See, we turned you around in 10 minutes.
Correct. 2 months.
Hey, Brian, hit the super stage.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
It's a Fit Friday.
So I'm gonna give you guys a heads up early here. At exactly 4:12, I'm out of here.
Why?
What's happening today?
It's just
by the way,
a busy afternoon, and it's
how
Friday.
is it that is it 8 weeks? Did I hear Bergman say that correctly? That we get 8 weeks paternity leave?
Yeah, George, you need to have more kids.
I was just gonna say when I had Mateo, he's 5. Like it was probably like 2 weeks, I think maybe.
I don't know if it's different for talent, but for part-time.
Well, no, I just think it was also changed.
Yeah, it
over
has.
5
It
years.
has evolved
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah, I think I may have had 2 or
paternity
3
leave.
weeks or something like
Yeah,
that. It wasn't that long for sure.
I'm telling you right now, when my last kid was born, so she's 17, there was no such thing as paternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, I'm not joking around here.
It didn't
Not one
exist.
bit.
I mean, I think probably when I was born, my dad went to work the next day.
Let me ask my wife. I'm curious to see if she remembers. Hold on a second.
Hey, listen, while George is
Checking
surveying,
on paternity leave, yeah.
Listen, John, you asked the question about does a vasectomy hurt?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Does
Let me tell you guys something. Am I the only guy that's had a vasectomy here?
I think so.
I want one, Cappy.
Okay, well, you should get one. Let me tell you what they do, or at least what they did when I did it. Maybe technology's changed.
Just the idea of it makes me squeamish.
Well, wait a minute. What happens if you get 8 weeks? I'll do it then.
For 8
you would get if you got 8 weeks off
for a vasectomy.
For a vasectomy. Yeah.
All right, so I've just confirmed with my better half because she has a way better memory than I do. She says with Aria I had 2 weeks, and that with Mateo it was 6. But I said, but I didn't take 6, did I? And she says, no, you're an idiot. And I said, yeah, okay, then I am an idiot. You're right.
Now, George, have you considered a vasectomy since?
Wait, can I still take if I didn't take all 6 and I still take it? Like
that is an
how does that
excellent
work?
You got him in the
Can't
bank.
carry over the time. No,
you got him in the bank for sure.
Damn it.
Yeah,
You got
they're
him
in the bank.
Would you consider a vasectomy?
Can we ask
now, or
HR
are
if
you
I can
done?
still carry those over that I didn't take?
How long you working? We don't have an HR department. Come on.
We don't?
Yeah.
All right, so here's
I
the
think
deal on
Bergman
the
is
vasectomy.
HR.
Here's the deal. As a guy, you are wide awake during this procedure. It also lasts all of about, I'd say, 5 minutes. And I'm not joking.
What
with you.
procedure is this?
So they give you, Cappy, a local anesthetic?
Yes. So they
No,
So
hell no.
so here's what they do.
You knocked
So
me out.
so first they shave the area.
Okay.
If there's any
honestly.
Mace, seriously,
No,
not joking.
really?
They with like a
They
bic,
manscape you.
with like a bic razor,
Okay.
like you know,
really? Not
yeah.
like not like a machine?
No, and no like shaving cream, no hot water, like dry.
Right,
so like
okay.
with a bic razor, right?
Okay.
Now that's if you have anything. Like I went in clean, thinking I was good. They gave me a little touch up. They give you a shot, okay, and they make a tiny little incision into your deal, okay. Then I'm not joking with you guys, not one bit.
Okay.
They take your testicles out in front of your eyes.
No, stop.
In front of your face, dude.
Stop,
like
stop.
right there, right? Like, oh my God.
I'm never doing this.
Nobody's
then-
ever doing it after
then,
this.
Then
No,
they
you have
put
effectively killed vasectomies
No.
for the mass portion of our audience.
Then
Yeah.
let me tell you something.
Agreed.
Then they put them back in, right? And then they solder
No,
them
thanks.
shut.
Oh,
They-
no. Oh,
it's not a
God.
stitching. It's not a stitching. It's like a soldering, and you can see the smoke, and you can actually. I'm not joking. You can smell it. Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh my God.
It is like.
Boy, Pepe just sent me a text. He had a vasectomy in 1984.
Right, and back then...
Oh, wow.
It's 40 years ago.
It was like a back alley vasectomy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, my dad had one also when I was a little kid, and I remember he was like bathing in the bathtub after it was done. He's like, "Come on in here, check this out." I'm like, "What's going on here, Dad?" He goes, "Look at this."
Let's change the friggin' subject.
Yeah, to anything.
Yeah. But let's talk about
Life.
something the opposite of that. Whatever
All I
that
can tell
would
you
be.
is this. They stitched him up back then. Okay.
They soldered you.
They soldered. Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonano, are you working the Laker Nuggets game tomorrow? Did we lose
No,
Sonano?
I'm working the Suns OKC on Sunday.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if Jamal Murray's going to play. He sprained his ankle in the first half last night in Denver against Miami and never returned. So is it a safe assumption that he probably won't play?
Yeah, he's also been dealing, John, with really bad shin splints.
Right,
he's
I read
had
that.
a lot of surgeries on his legs. You know what I mean? So, like,
I would think they would err on the side of caution. I kind of hope he does play. I love watching him play. But it would be a break for the Lakers.
It would be a huge break. And they've done fairly well with Reggie Jackson in the starting role, and less so when he's coming off the bench. But, yeah, I would say a safe assumption he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, probably too early to say.
That's a break.
Yeah,
Big time.
Lakers will take any breaks they can get. They're in ninth place.
Yeah, and especially with the schedule, the way it's set up right now, based on the number of home games, based on the number of teams with winning records, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, you'll take any break you can get.
Yeah. How big? Now we were saying earlier. I think that when we die, there will be nobody who has outscored LeBron James. There will be nobody that surpasses 40,000 points. Do you agree
how long
with
do you
that?
plan to live?
Well, no, but do you honestly think nobody's even in the ballpark?
Well, who's next?
Durant is next, and
Wemby.
And well, Wemby's the one you got to think about. And George, the other one I thought is a possibility might be Luka, because he averages 30
Luka
points
said he's
a
not
game.
going to play that long, though.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't,
already said that he's not playing 20 years.
Do you think we'll see somebody else score 40,000 points?
I mean, probably
don't.
not.
In my lifetime.
But I didn't think we would break Kareem either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just when you look at it, so to me, it's a little bit like, what is it like? Like the hits record, that's never getting touched. The wins record in Major League Baseball never get to. I think this is going to be one of those
Wins for
records
sure.
that's
I'm with
not.
you on that.
This is just one of those records that's never going to be broken.
Well,
I don't
I'm just
think.
looking at this right now. So LeBron is 9 points away, as you guys know.
Yep.
Durant, John, as you point out, is behind him by 11,000-ish points, a little bit more. So he's only at 28,000.
Yeah.
James Harden at 25,000 and change. Russell Westbrook, wow, Brody at 25,000. And then Steph Curry. Steph's at 23,000 and change. So, I mean, if there's one guy that maybe you think, well, maybe Steph because he just bombs away threes all day long. But Steph is 17,000 points behind LeBron.
I mean, it's the longevity, man. I mean, it's just unreal that he's doing. I mean, last night, the game against the Clippers, it's just unbelievable that he's doing what he's doing at the age that he's at. And I don't think we're going to see anybody surpass 40,000 points.
By the way, George, where does LeBron end up in the All NBA discussion? Second team, third team? He's not. Could he make first team? Probably not.
That's a great question.
But
no,
I mean,
I would probably say no, just because of their record. You know what I mean?
because
Like,
he's doing things that no one's ever done before. It's hard to characterize where you would put him. My guess is the front line will be some
Jokic
combination of Jokic, Tatum, and who?
Giannis?
Yeah, probably.
Because the positions don't matter anymore, right?
Well, if that's the case, then he could sneak in there. Because you could put LeBron and Shea. I think Shea's got to be there. My thought is Luke is probably going to be there too. But Shea's been great. Anthony Edwards has been great. If Minnesota finishes with the best record in the NBA, I think you got to have a Wolf probably in there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Donovan Mitchell's probably going to be in All NBA this year. He's got the 2 seed right now.
Right. So, and Embiid's not going to have played enough games to qualify, so that actually helps. But I just don't. My thought is LeBron will be second team and outside chance at first team.
Did you say you have to have a Wolf in there?
A wolf, a timber wolf.
Okay, but the way you said wolf, I was like, okay, that's actually very funny.
That is the singular.
Right, that's right, because they are the timber wolves, but you have to have at least a wolf.
Oh, you know what? Ireland, Sabonis is probably going to be all NBA this year.
Yeah, maybe De'Aaron Fox
and
too.
Kawhi.
Oh yeah, Kawhi. Forgot about Kawhi's probably
KD?
going to. Yeah, Kawhi's probably going to have to be first team.
Hey, Cappy, I joined you in debauchery last night in terms of the eating.
Oh no, what'd you do?
In bed, I heard.
Bed is getting popular with the millennials. I'm not alone, but no, I'm back. I'm still at the table, but we had a Sicilian pizza.
Ooh.
Now Sicilian, we got it from a place called Prince Street over in Venice. They got a bunch of locations, but a Sicilian pizza reminds me of a Detroit style pizza.
I'm not really sure I understand what Detroit style pizza is.
What is a Detroit style pizza?
It's like a thick crust.
But
it's
I
got
thought
like
that Chicago style is thick crust.
No,
That's really thick crust.
Deep dish.
Right.
Deep dish.
But Sicilian is square, I believe.
Yes, it
much
is
like-
square.
Yeah, much like Detroit.
It was
And Detroit
originally
has-
made from focaccia bread as the crust, which is why it's thicker. So it's not like deep dish like Detroit, but the crust and like the base of the pizza. Not just the crust, but like the, whatever, the dough, the bottom.
It was
It's
really,
thicker. It's
really
my favorite.
good.
It's so good.
What was on it, Mace?
It was the meat lovers, so it had pepperoni, spicy pepperoni, sausage, and then prosciutto.
Ooh.
A little prosciutto on there too.
So how much of this pizza did you eat?
Half.
And did Juan eat the other half?
Yes.
And so you two ate the entire pie together.
Correct. We ate
That's like me and Morales when we do road pies. So, all right. So, how disgusting did you feel afterwards?
Awful, just awful.
And did
you know what made it?
there?
You know what made it worse?
What? Tell me you ordered donuts after.
We ordered donuts.
Yes!
Wait a minute. I
For
thought
the-
what happened to the no dessert thing?
That it starts for March.
Oh,
so we
okay.
decided
You
no
went out-
dessert
you went
in
out
March.
big, yeah.
So on the 29th, we thought, let's get some donuts in under the wire. So we hit the donuts last night.
So you had
too.
like a total carb out last night. Oh my! And then the sugar on the donuts. Oh, what an animal! What a disgusting animal!
Then
you
I
are.
got on the scale today. I'm at 192.5. I haven't been. It's just
fat ass.
terrible. I do.
Nice.
I feel gross.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And so March is going to be super clean eating. But now I know how you feel.
Yeah. I feel disgusting.
But are you drinking at all?
No, I'm not drinking right now.
That's good because drinking is empty calories. That's where you get that's what gets you a lot.
I'm also not smoking right now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, well, hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
When you say you're not
Straight-laced
smoking,
Mace?
that sounds great.
Yeah, I'm
But
very
does that-
straight edge right now.
But does that mean you're not using any THC products of any
Oh,
kind?
no, I'm using a ton of THC. I'm just not smoking it.
Okay, so you're using gummies.
Gummies.
Okay,
And I'm
anything
hitting them
else?
hard.
Are you vaping at all?
I hit the vape a little bit.
Okay,
Just
so
a little.
So I love
gummies
the
and
way
vape.
you say that. I'm not smoking, as if like we're all going to be super impressed, like as if you've quit. But no, you're just using different forms. I like that.
Correct.
That's smart. I
now,
like that.
Chris at the Green Cross in Torrance is developing a special Venice Mace strain right now. Which I think I've always said if I could have one product, like you guys probably bottle of wine or something, a strain of Venice Mace cannabis, I think would be a great honor.
I think you're making such a huge mistake.
Why?
Such a huge mistake.
Why?
Because while Chris is a great
He's
listener,
a great guy, yeah.
He's a great guy. He's a great listener. He takes care of us. Okay. The fact is that in the cannabis industry, okay, the one thing they actually need more of is more brands. Okay. Believe it or not, like, because you could walk into the Green Cross and you could get lost with who do I like? What do I like? They actually are looking for more and more and more brands. You should be doing this on your own.
You think so?
100%. You should. My kids and I are all talking about starting our own cannabis brand, not growing it, not cultivating it, just creating our own labeling for it.
Really?
And what we're going to do is each strain is going to be the nicknames that we call our dog. You know, so like
Okay.
we got a whole game plan. And
So how many nicknames do you have for your dog?
we have like 5 of them.
They are?
You know, yeah. Let's see. We have Mr. Handsome.
Okay.
Okay. Numer Doggy.
Okay.
Jack the Guy.
Okay.
And I don't know. There's a couple others. So each strain does something different to you. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're using the dog's nicknames.
It is funny how people, have nicknames for their dogs and wind
Yes.
up not calling their dogs by their actual names. Like, for example, we have a dog named Tootsie Boots.
But what's the dog's real name?
Sophie.
Oh, okay. Why do you call her that?
It just, for
It
some
just
reason,
stuck?
it just stuck. Yeah.
Tootsie Boots.
Little Mr. Adorable Pants. We have Little Mr. Adorable Pants.
That's a lot for a dog.
I mean, my dog's name is Jack, and we call him the Numer Doggy.
The Numer,
I don't know why we call him the Numer Doggy. That's what we call him.
Yeah.
Tootsie Boots is cute.
Yeah, Tootsie Boots is cute. We also have Goonsey. Goonsey's another one we use all the time.
That's so cute.
Goonsey. So we could actually put out a whole line of candles.
Right.
So you're saying I should actually do it in an organized way and make a business of it?
I'm saying that if Chris does this for you, while you will be extremely flattered,
yes,
you will have missed a monster opportunity to actually take advantage of the situation.
So who do I need to get in touch with? Like somebody who cultivates?
All right, hold on. Johnny I?
Yeah.
You're not going to be surprised by this, but ready for this, Mace?
You have a guy?
I got a guy. In fact, Johnny I don't have a guy. I got the guy.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. You've told me about this guy.
Oh, yeah. I got the guy to make the Venice Mace strain of weed.
Oh, okay. I'm going to talk to you separately.
Okay.
Because
sorry, Chris. I don't mean to ruin it.
Chris, I have no issue with you doing anything you want with me. I'm not going to start my own cannabis brand. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Now the Venice Mace Kush. Now it would be an indica. What is it for you, Captain?
Oh no, I'm a sativa.
You are a sativa. Yeah, you are constantly sativa.
Yeah, I want to be up,
and I want to be mellow. I got to shut my mind down.
Yeah, into couch.
Yeah. All right, so that's the weekend. Here we come.
All right.
Yeah. It's 4/12.
Look out, weekend. Here I come.
See you.
Because weekends are made for fun.
See you Monday at 1. 7:10 a.m.